be cruel to be kind. Cruel. We're going to figure out the microphone situation. Is that comfortable?
Yeah.
All right.
We're good.
Kind of comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Glasses are difficult, I know.
Cool.
All right, cool. All right, welcome everybody. My name is Peter Feliciano. This is Conservatish episode number 12. Our guest tonight is Jerry from the Proud Boys, Bay Area Proud Boys.
Right.
Go ahead and test the mic a little bit.
Checking 1, 2.
How do you hear yourself? Okay.
Yeah. That's
okay.
Good.
I can hear you just fine. I can hear me. Okay. Cool. First things first. That is a fantabulous array.
That's beautiful, man.
If you don't mind, I didn't think about it. I got Pellegrino, but I got the chilled Pellegrino.
Nice.
Do you mind if I get the chilled Pellegrino?
You can have whatever you want.
All right.
What's off limits?
Nothing. This is whatever literally you want. I even have another one of the Pellegrinos.
Yeah, that seaweed's
all
all
of
you.
that's okay. Yeah, I love seaweed, but yeah, that's all you because I'm being a good boy.
Right
I've
on,
lost
man.
102 pounds.
Congratulations,
103
damn.
pounds. Thank you, sir. Yeah,
Proud of your boy.
since March.
Wow.
Yeah, I was 315 pounds at 32 years old. Not good.
Right.
My back was hurting more. You know, my hip. I would get out of the car, and I would be limping. It was very embarrassing.
What's the secret?
Stop eating shit.
Right. Right. Right.
But I joined this eating plan, and anyway, it's a very structured eating plan, but it also is actually not too difficult to follow, which is nice. But especially it's effective, and as a lazy man, I like it when it's quick rather than the slow,
Still willpower, though.
A lot of,
you got to do it.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Congratulations.
So enough about me.
Yeah.
I am really, first things first, thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, no problem.
It's a great, I've been excited all day. I also have been like, oh, don't cancel.
Right.
I think I have a date after this too, and I don't care if she cancels, but I'm like, what cares is like, and it's especially, so I'll give you a little bit about my background.
Sure.
Half Puerto Rican, a little bit of black, but mostly on the other side is German and English. I grew up in Long Island initially, and then I moved out to the Bay Area when I was about 9. I just considered myself liberal for most things, especially for like my 20s.
Right.
Because I think that's just the natural progression of things.
Sure.
Sometimes, especially if you're in the Bay Area. And then a couple of years ago, I started not. I've been a contrarian for a lot of my life. My favorite, like Frank Zappa, one of my favorite musicians.
Oh, yeah.
He would just spray it everywhere.
I love Frank Zappa.
The left, the right, the hippies, and especially untouchable subjects. He would lampoon and make fun of, and I just love the spirit of that, and I love the. Anytime there's like a sacred something or other, I immediately have to shoot it. I just feel it feels good to my soul. And even South Park is another example of that. Just sprays it everywhere. And I want to say about a year and a half ago, I started thinking to myself, I don't think this is that big a deal. Like, especially when the 2016 election was ramping up, and everybody was going insane. And at the time, I was definitely going to vote for Bernie, and then I voted for Bernie, and then he got kicked out, and so I begrudgingly voted for Hillary.
Right.
And then as soon as Trump got elected, I remember my ex-girlfriend at the time called me, and she's crying. She's like, "This is like the end of the world," and I was just like, "I don't think it's." Like, is it that bad? And it almost felt it felt like a weird little guilty secret to be like, I don't think it's that bad, And I think somewhere around about that time, a lot of people were sharing about Milo Yiannopoulos and sharing how he was Satan and this and that. And I started thinking to myself, okay, well, I'm a lazy man, as I said before. It's really easy for me to just take whatever everybody else says, because not just am I lazy, but I'm also busy with my life. I've got, I didn't have a podcast, but I was a musician and still am, and have a very full life outside of what's going on in fucking politics.
Right.
And and I didn't have time to research all this stuff. And then I started thinking, let me just deep dive real quick. And so I deep dived into Milo. No, eat. Yeah, it's just good. I deep dived into Milo, and I started agreeing with some of the things he was saying.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay. All right, this is... And so I'm agreeing more and more. And then there's a couple of things I'm like, all right, you're being a bit of an asshole. Or you're being just a provocateur on
Hence
purpose.
Milo,
And,
yeah.
Yeah, it's Milo. Slapdash just sprayed everywhere. Go way over the top, hyperbole and this and that. But I kind of was digging some of the stuff, and then I started looking more into... You ever heard of, what's her name? Camille Paglia?
No.
Camille Paglia, she's this kind of... She's similar to Christina Hoff Sommers. Do you know Christina? Okay. But she's... honestly, she considers herself more of a classical... Liberal.
Mm-hmm.
But... and much more of a classical feminist on the first wave type of feminist.
I actually know who you're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah, short hair.
Yep.
Talks a million. She's a professor, and she's just this small, dykey little professor who just and it was just like I was like, oh, dude, this chick is amazing. And so I started eating more of what she was saying, and I don't agree with everything Milo or everything Camille and then I started digging into Jordan Peterson and then Steven Crowder. I said all of a sudden my world started opening up, and I was just like, yeah, I think the emperor has no clothes. Like I just think, and not just does that idea speak to me, but then I started realizing like it's okay if we don't agree on things, and I started feeling like on a grander scale, I have my own spiritual beliefs and spiritual walk and everything, and on a grander scale, I really genuinely believe like shit's not that bad. Like nor is there one specific, evil necessary. I don't think it's like, I think if you sit down across from somebody, you just have a fucking conversation, everybody's kind of okay. Like it's not that big a deal, and I feel, I definitely can see it in myself when I get on Twitter, especially. It's a little better with Facebook. It's a little better with Instagram. But especially on Twitter, I immediately feel bad. And there's something that feels good about feeling bad.
I hear you.
And I feel like most of us are kind of in that position. And anyway, even when I was wanted to have you on the podcast, and I reached out, I hadn't really thought people would necessarily get back to me.
Right.
But even there were a couple of people in these studios, in these offices, and I felt like, oh, if you just knew who I had coming in. I just felt like, because there's such a, even you saw, was it last night or the night before, Ted Cruz and his wife were at a restaurant in D.C. and got shouted out. Like, I just, I am ready for the fight. Like, I feel, and already I'm a person who's, like, it's too late for me to kind of, not just with the podcast being out there and me talking for hours and hours on end, like I know what I'm talking about, but also with me wanting to do music professionally, I'm going to be a known person. You know what I mean? It's too late for me to hide my identity. And there's only like one thing that I kind of won't talk about on the podcast.
Right.
I'll say for my spiritual advisors and things like that. But other than that, like I've talked about all kinds of stuff. And so I feel like I take things, I'd like to think I take things one at a time and see if I agree with them or not and whatever. And
as everybody should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when I started, as an example, when I was watching videos of Gavin and things like that, I was like, there's a couple of things that maybe, and it's similar to a Milo thing where like the style of it might not have the most tact, quote unquote, or it might be a little hyperbole, but like overall, I'm like, I don't think he's saying bad shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
And nor do I, anyway, so, are you comfortable delving into your own personal?
Basically, our backgrounds are almost kind of similar. Basically, our backgrounds are kind of similar. I grew up a liberal. That's what you are in the Bay Area,
right?
Especially in the area where I grew up.
Right.
Republican wasn't even a word you should speak. It was you were a Democrat, and that's period. That's it.
Right.
You know, when you vote, you look for the D for Democrat, and then you look for, is it a Hispanic last name?
Right.
And as I was growing up, I was just always fascinated with politics. But I was growing up, I just noticed nothing got better around my neighborhood. We keep electing these politicians. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. Mm-hmm. And one after another, they're getting caught for embezzlement and, you know, just you know, ripping off the taxpayers.
Right.
And when I got into college, I was still very liberal, you know, with the whole 9/11 thing, and I was against Bush and all that.
Sure.
And then it came down to Trump.
Okay.
I didn't have a dog in the fight because I just didn't trust Hillary at all. I know her background. I just think, you know, she's just an evil person. She's
okay.
Never accomplished nothing, all that stuff.
Sure.
I kind of liked Bernie in the beginning, but he started talking socialism, and I was like, I can't get behind that either.
Right.
And then Alex Jones was just a part of my life, so I was really conflicted. At that point, I didn't have a dog in the fight. I was just like, I'm feeling weird about this whole liberal thing, you know. And I was really pissed off about Obama, being lied to. And then I found Milo Yiannopoulos, just like you did.
Huh.
And I'm a blunt person.
Right.
I don't like beating around the bush. I don't like the PC anything. Just tell me what it is. I don't care how bad it is. Just tell me the way. And he was speaking to me, and you know, he's really flashy and all that. And it was it was entertaining because no conservatives were like that before.
Oh yeah,
him and Crowder and, you know, McInnes.
Yeah,
and I just started gravitating towards that, and I just agreed with what they're saying. And I emailed Milo Yiannopoulos because I wanted to go see him at Berkeley. And they were sold.
What year was that?
This was last year.
Okay.
The first time he was there, and they were sold out, and I was bummed because this was really important to me.
Right.
So out of a whim, I just emailed him. I told him how much he opened up my mind, and I thanked him, and I was just like, "Can I volunteer? Can I work the door for you?" And he actually emailed me back.
Oh,
like,
wow, that's cool.
I still have the email. It's hilarious. He calls me darling.
Oh.
Yeah. And he's like, "You know what? I'll put you on the VIP list." And I was like, "Oh, that's fucking cool."
That's very cool.
And so I go to Berkeley. It's a long story, but I'm trying to make it short. I go to Berkeley, and
we have all the time in the world.
I'm super excited because, like, you know, he's speaking to me, and I get there, and lo and behold, there's that opposition group just terrorizing Berkeley, setting things on fire, beating people up, pepper spraying, just innocent people walking down the street. I saw a man get beat with aluminum bats just because he came out of a cafe and he just happened to be a white guy.
Okay.
And they attacked him.
What time of the night was it? Was it before his speech or after his speech?
Did
he get to talk?
Yeah, no, he didn't get to talk. He had to be escorted out the back, and just, you know, they canceled the gig. I was pissed. I'm looking around, and people are getting beat up, and that's when I knew. I was like, no, this isn't right.
Right.
This isn't right, and I'm not going to let this stand. Like, whatever I could do, I'm not going to let this stand because it's just not cool.
Right.
Period. And then off in the back, I see a bunch of guys just getting kind of beaten up and jumped by like 50 opposition members on these like 5 guys, and I'm like, why are they all wearing the same colored shirt?
Oh shit!
Like, I'm like, and I was just like, what the hell? And I was like, I got to get out of here. So I get out of there.
The guys getting beat up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the next day, I see McInnes' show, and then I found out who they were.
Okay.
And I was like, that could have been me. If those people knew that I had the beliefs that I had,
right,
I could easily just have been beat up as well. And we live in the Bay Area, man, and I'm a musician too. And I got put through the ringer pretty bad once people found out. I try to keep it away because I never talk to people about politics. You know, I never like in their face like, "Hey, let's talk about Trump."
Right.
And it hurt. It really hurt because I was big in the Bay Area scene, and a lot of people turned their backs on me. I lost a lot of gigs.
Shit.
But I come to the point now where it's, you know, I don't want to wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and be like, I'm just going along to get along.
Yeah.
So, you know, fuck it. I'm going to be who I am.
Right.
I'm going to do what I do. And that goes to Trump. Pretty much everybody knows he speaks his mind. He doesn't care. I mean, he's not eloquent. He's not a used car salesman like Obama. He's just like, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Twitter, boom.
Right.
And I love that.
Yeah.
And here's another story regarding Trump.
Please.
In the beginning, I believed what the media was saying, you know, that he's a racist against Mexicans. And they showed that little 10-second clip, you know, of him saying, oh, you know, they're not sending their best, they're rapists.
Right.
And I jumped on it, and I was pissed. And but I didn't want to believe it because I saw the media, they were going too hard at him. Like, it was just way over the top. Now, from what I've seen in other...
Do you mind extrapolating just a little bit?
Yeah.
Because you don't seem like the typical white supremacist.
Right. We're getting there.
Are you comfortable? Okay.
Yeah, we're getting there for sure.
Right, never mind.
So, but I've also known about Trump. Back in the day, in the 80s, I have like vague memories of like my family playing the board game. You know, he was everywhere. He was on commercials. And I was like, why is
it a Trump board game?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And I was like, I saw him on TV all the time. I'm like, he has his own show for 8 years.
Right.
You know, firing people.
Right.
And I'm like, why is he, you know, white supremacist now or Nazi or whatever? And I just, it didn't sit well with me. And I was like, all right, if that's the case, then I want to see it, you know, firsthand. So, you know, I didn't tell anybody. I spent $600, got a plane ticket to one of his rallies. I won't say which one because people, you know.
Really? They'll know?
Oh, man, people.
We got to get into that later.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
doxing,
continue.
Yeah. So, and I was by myself. I didn't know anybody there. I got a hotel room, and lo and behold, here I was with, you know, tens of thousands of people. And I'll tell you what, if you want to look up like what a white supremacist might look like, dude, there's plenty of guys that look like it. Totally, you know, they fit the bill. You know,
were there at the rally? You mean, or you mean just in?
I'm just at the rally, like okay. You know. So I'm going in there. I'm like, all right, you know, this might be dangerous, blah, blah. But then I started walking more into the crowd. There's black people and there's Mexicans and there's gay people. And I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't what I was told. And I'll tell you what, I've never been to any kind of event, especially on like the left or whatever. I've never been to an event where I've never felt so loved by everybody. Like people were hugging each other, you know, welcome, everybody's hugging me. You know, everybody's holding hands, you know, arms around each other. And the event was just like, you know, I've been to plenty of rock concerts, but this was like electric. Right. It felt different. And at that moment, and it teared me up and I got really like emotional because it's like, I'm in my 30s and not once have I ever told myself or I've ever felt the feeling of like, I love my country. Like I love being here. I love this country. And at that moment I felt it. And I was like, wow, this is what these guys were talking about with the American flags and America. This is the shit.
Right.
And after that, I was hooked. And so that coincides with the members of Proud Boys. You know, they love their country too. We say the West is the best.
Right.
We love the Western culture. We love our country.
Right.
You know, to the nth degree. And I reached out to them, and been a member now for almost 2 years now, a year and a half.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you were a member before the election.
No, I take that back. So it's only been a year and a month, maybe. Yeah, okay. Yeah. It was right after the election.
Okay.
No, excuse me. It was right after the Milo thing, so almost 2 years. Whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack, obviously, but one of the things, and I love. Just as I'm thinking about it, like I never use the word unpack, but like, you know, when I started listening to Shapiro and whatever, and Peterson, like every 5 seconds is
Peterson,
like, let's unpack that. Peterson makes me like, I have to slow him down sometimes because I'm like, okay, what are the words he just said? What do those mean? Because I'm a dumb man. But anyway.
No, you're not the only one who does that.
But one of the things, there's a lot that struck me in what you're talking about, but one of the things that you talked about was losing friends and losing gigs in the area. Not only, so I was an Uber driver for a little while, for about a year, and during that time, multiple times I had people, I guess it must have been almost 2 years ago that I started thinking more, that I was more kind of conservative-ish, which is why I called this conservative. And one of the things that would happen is that people would just assume that I was against Trump, and not just that, but even in music or like. And I've done a lot of volunteer work for the gay community. I have a close family member who's a lesbian, and I work. You know, like I've done volunteer. Like I love a bunch of gays, and then sticking around any gays or any people or Uber passengers or whatever, it would just be assumed that this is so. Like you said, you said the words like you don't wave the Trump flag, but like these people like I would just assume, and most people were, but most people, like, we don't talk about politics like if we're just Uber passengers and a driver. Like, we just talk about the day and talk about, you know, where are you from and blah blah. And you know, we can, if it's a long ride, let's extrapolate. Let's talk about blah blah. But let's unpack that. The ease that people would just start waving the anti-Trump flag made me feel, and I'm pretty good with just like, all right, I'm going to say, yeah, okay, because I'm never going to see this person again. Exactly. I don't need to get into a fight. I don't need to, you know, get suddenly someone's videoing
You're
me
a better
calling,
man than I.
you know, calling them a cocksucker or whatever. Like, you know, I don't need that. I don't need to lose my job, you know, whatever. I'll just let this person think they're right. When they get out, I'll squeeze my wheel, you know, and then, you know, continue on getting rides or whatever. But it would be really uncomfortable for me because I'm like, why would you just assume that? Like, because I'm here in the Bay Area, right? Because I don't look 100% white, you're gonna, you know, because I'm kind of racially ambiguous. You know what I mean? They just assume that I believed it. It's just it's not just, is it? Honestly, it's just fucking rude. It's just rude. It's just absolutely rude. I don't understand why people. Anyway, so that's
absolutely
Did you? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh man, that's the one that gets me. Like, that really pisses me off is, you know, especially like it's white people telling me, you know, these like liberals, you know, you're a disgrace to your kind.
Wow.
You're a traitor, you know, and then other Mexicans telling me, it's like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, we're all Americans. You're in America, aren't you? Right. That's all I care about. Right. That's all Proud Boys care about. We don't care about what race you are. No. We don't care if you're gay. Right. We don't care if you think you're a goddamn unicorn. We might make fun of you for sure. But that's all we like, and no one seems to get that. Like, we're just Americans. We don't give a shit about any of that stuff, about your race and all this and all these little tokens that the left likes to use. You know, this is our Mexican group. These are our black groups. This is our LGBT community. It's like we like all of them.
Right.
All of them are accepted into our group. So like, you know,
which is, that was one of those things, is I posted, and I knew what I was doing. I'm trying to be a little bit of an asshole. I just, you know, because I am. But I knew that I would post about it, you know, oh, guess what, guys? I'm going to have, you know, Proud Boys on, you know. And it's you know, some interesting. I had one guy say deleted, you know, and I don't know.
Why would you have them on there? Yeah.
I don't know. But also, a lot of people were just, oh yeah, the white supremacy. I'm like, no, they're not. Like, I don't think I fought with anybody on there. I just said, just listen to the episode. You know, just, it's all right. You know, because I genuinely believe these people don't, or most of them anyway. I don't think they're bad. I don't think they're intentionally evil. I think they're misguided. They're lazy, and they think that they're doing the right thing by being against you. Sure. You know what I mean? They think they're doing the right thing by being against Trump, because Trump looks like, from the only news source that they get, Trump looks like the devil. Yep. And so, of course, they're going to fight the devil. You know, of course I'm going to, quote unquote, I love this, punch a Nazi. Right. Like, okay, there's so much wrong with the phrase punch a Nazi, the way it's used. If I'm in a war, or if I'm in if a Nazi is wanting to punch me, punch the fuck out of the Nazi. But if we are having a civil debate, or the person is literally just wearing a swastika, I may not want to hang out with them. I don't want to talk to them. I may yell at them, but I do not get to punch. I do not get to physically harm them with my body because of what they believe. That's just not okay.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's just, I mean, I don't like, you know, obviously I don't like Nazis, and I don't like, you know, white supremacists and all that kind of shit.
Because you're not, what, if you don't, I mean, I think you said other Mexicans.
I'm Mexican.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's America. Who gives a shit? Let them think that whatever they want to think. Let them do whatever the hell they want to do. Mm-hmm. If they're not trying to kill you, I mean, that's just the point right there. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, you know, when they shout people down, like Shapiro, or like people when, you know, they're having a talk, it's like, jackass. They have a question and answer after every talk. Milo says this, and I want a liberal to come up first to debate me if you have something to say to me. Right. That is your time right there. Right. That is your time to ruin him if you really wanted to. If your ideals were way more, you know, more just than his, you could end his whole career right there. Mm-hmm. It'll come on YouTube. Oh, Milo gets destroyed, and that'd be the end of it. Right. But no, they don't have anything. They don't have that. They don't have, their ideals are shit. Right. So instead of trying to debate, they just want to either destroy or distract or just just be jerk-offs.
Right. I think there's
Pretty
a
much.
tremendous... I think it feels good to make people feel bad. You know what I mean? As a dirty little human, knowing myself, when I've been, as an example, God bless any woman who's ever dated me, but like, you know, I've had times in my relationships where I'm a punishing douche on purpose, and I don't realize it until afterwards, and I'm like, ah, damn it. Whenever she cries, then I'm like, ah, shit, right. I fucked up. And then I try to say I'm sorry, be nice to her, whatever. But like there's something... on a smaller scale, and also at the public level, at the social media level, there's something good in me, or there's something evil in me that likes it when I make someone feel bad, especially if I think they're on the other side. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
And the media is strong, man. I have sympathy for these people because I used to be brainwashed myself. I used to be brainwashed I watched MSNBC every day. I was just, laser focused.
Right.
Until I broke out of it and I saw like, wow, these people they've been fucking lying to me forever since I was a kid. I can't believe anything. So then it broke the mold and I started researching. I'm like, wow. So like whenever I'm debating someone, or I should say this, when we're at rallies as well, we're not there to fight people. We're not there to yell. We never yell at people. We actually want to fucking talk to people.
Right.
We tell, come over here and talk to me. Stop yelling at me.
Right.
Like I'm Mexican. You're yelling in my face that I'm a Nazi.
Right.
That's not helping anything.
Right.
You might like, and I'll be honest, they might say something that I would accept as, oh, I didn't know that. Maybe I should rethink it. Let's talk about it. Like we're down to debate. I mean, even the Proud Boys, all of us don't believe the exact same thing. We debate all the time.
Right.
We go at each other. It's all love though. It's like at the end we're like, okay. But, but yeah, we should be able to speak our mind without being harassed and doxxed like you wanted to get into. Which is a whole nother level. So,
I guess to give a little backstory to the people who are going to listen to this. I mean, I don't know. So doxing is, I guess I have you on the show. You explain it because it seems, it's complicated and it does seem actually quite genuinely evil.
Anybody that is considered right-wing, or just anybody who's not a hardcore progressive or liberal, these opposition groups will hack computers into your systems. They will, have people investigate into your background. They will find out where you live, who your family members are, everything about you, absolutely everything. And they will nonstop call your boss and just say that they need to fire you. They will harass your family. They will go to your house. They'll slash your tires.
Right.
They will jump you, just from you name it, from top to bottom, and it's it kind of puts us in a weird position, and we're still trying to figure out what to do about it because they've crossed the line. It's not just debating. It's not just getting yelled at. It's like now you're messing with like our family. You're messing with our, putting food on the table for our kids.
Right.
And so,
have people actually been fired from it?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's the stuff that really, that you're crossing the line because, I mean, I've been attacked at rallies and whatever, wounds will heal. Same thing with being a musician. It hurt my feelings really bad when I thought these people were my best friends. I was gigging with these people for 4 years plus all the time, and even some of them knew what I believed in, but we never talked about it because we're still friends on a personal level. We're here to play music and it's all good. But
so then, they had already known.
Yeah.
Right.
But then it just got to a point, and it's gotten to really, 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 really bad point where the politicians are part and parcel by doing this, that they're just turning these people from angry to malicious now.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're still trying to deal with it. But I wish I could tell them, like, look, you're gonna do all that. Our beliefs still aren't. They're not gonna change.
Right.
What are you trying to get out of it?
Right. It seems like what they think is that we just need to ultimately get these people off the, you're not gonna. So I believe it's on the right too. Anytime a human, I know from my experience, it's difficult to go, it takes genuine effort to go, I hadn't thought of that. let me get back to you on it, or
Right.
you know what, I think you're actually, that's a good point. I might be wrong. It's extremely hard to do that, and so when we get hunkered down into that idea, it becomes them versus us, instead of all of us.
And sure, it is on the other side too as well. Charlottesville was a perfect example. Gavin McInnes, he disavowed that, so we weren't even there, and that kind of pisses me off because SPLC, they're still saying that we took part in it. It's like,
the Southern
we weren't there.
Poverty Law Center or whatever.
Yeah, we weren't there. You could see Gavin's post that saying no Proud Boys allowed to go because this is a setup and it's not our fight.
Wow,
what they're going to. And like I said, yeah, and then it is on the other side, but this reality that they think there's Nazis in every corner, it's not real. They had to go to Charlottesville, like the hub of where the KKK really actually is. You know what I mean? So they went to their hometown where they are to pretty much attack them. Start a fight. Right. What did you think was going to happen? You think they were just going to stand by and let that happen? Of course, there's going to be violence.
Right.
And that was their tool to say, everybody on the right is these guys, Charlottesville.
Right. And
we're still dealing with that today. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is, and not just that, but like you talked about it earlier, and I sometimes I feel like in having this conversation, there are some things that are repeated, but really it's just I listen to these guys, these speakers, and these a lot, and so it feels really good. It feels really, that's part of the reason why I was excited, not just because I'm going to piss people off, yay, but it also is this idea that, okay, new people who aren't listening to Rogan and Peterson and Shapiro will get just introduced to these ideas from a guy who they know. I'm not, a lot of the people who listen to the podcast either know me through, Facebook or through real life or through whatever.
Right.
And they know I'm not a piece of shit. Like,
exactly.
And yet, for some reason, I don't think Trump is Satan. You know what I mean?
Right,
right. And my personal opinion about, he can be a little fucking, don't take that personally, Trump. No,
Yeah.
So what they said, you had a small peepee. Like, move on. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter.
Right.
And he's a little emotionally immature, but I really think he's kind of doing some okay stuff. And I
he's killing it right now.
Yeah, I just don't think it's that bad.
The media is they're just way out of hand. He's done so much. I mean, just. He's a racist. Okay, black and Latino unemployment rates are the lowest ever been in the history of our country. So he's given opportunities.
Here's what I think it is. I think maybe it really is. It goes back to that idea that they genuinely don't want black and brown people to work. They think, no. Those are our pet. We want to keep them depending upon us.
You hit it on the head. You hit it on the head. This is the Democratic Party. This is them. They are the founders of the KKK.
Are they really?
Yes, they are.
Interesting.
Abraham Lincoln was a Republican.
Right.
It's a given.
Right.
They are the founders of the KKK. Yeah, exactly. That's their voter base.
Right.
They broke. See, it's really nice to see that more African Americans are like waking up because because it hits them even more.
Right.
Because there was a literal push to break up the black family in the starting maybe like the 50s, 60s that I know of.
Right.
Where they incentivized single motherhood.
Mm-hmm.
And just fatherless homes, the rate just skyrocketed for the black community.
Right.
And
something like 75% now, right?
Yeah, it's 75%. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, so, most of the. I mean, I know a good amount of black people through hip hop and stuff, and there's not a lot of like fathers that can think of it.
Yeah, there's scientific study that is harsh for the kid. So it's just a perpetual, and then they're given a welfare, so they become reliant on the government and on democratic government. So here's so of course they're going to vote for you because you're supplying their food and their housing and everything. You give them everything for their vote. Like
George Carlin said, "Big white daddy knows best." You know what I mean? Like you just make the government your daddy.
Exactly. And now they're the democratic pawns. You need us though, so vote for me.
Right.
So here's your welfare.
Right.
But things are starting to change though. Yeah, the perception's starting to change.
I think I do feel good about that. I mean, one of the things was, you said, like, let's have a debate, like, let's have a conversation. Like, it really was exemplified by Charlottesville, or the anniversary, how there were, like, 20 motherfuckers who showed up to the anniversary in D.C., right? Mm-hmm. There were, like, 20, there wasn't very much, there were such a small amount of white supremacists who actually showed up. It's like, See, you let these people out into the, and it's not because they're afraid to come out and like they were.
That's them. That's all. That's all they. I mean, like that's what I keep saying. Like that's all they have, guys. Like, what are you scared about?
Right. It's not that big a deal.
And what pissed me off is they use that as an excuse to take us off of Twitter. They banned Proud Boys off every chapter across the country off Twitter.
Right.
Silencing us.
And Gavin too. Gavin's off Twitter.
Yeah.
Gavin's off. Is he off Facebook? No, he's on CRTV now, right?
Yeah. They took him off. They took Milo off. He was the first one to go.
Right. Milo's still on Facebook though, I think.
Yeah. And so, and we weren't even there. We had nothing to do with it. Mm-hmm. They said leading up to it because they think that we were going to cause hate. It's like, what are you talking about?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Leading up to it, they didn't even let you do whatever they thought you were going to do.
I was like, we weren't at the first one.
Not just that. So let's talk about. So the person, the group or person who doxed Gavin McInnes, I think it was last night, right, or the night before. Someone at what is it? Goddamn stupid ass. Shoot racism DC or no?
I know what you're talking about though.
God damn it. Anyway, that group of people intentionally they said, here's Gavin McGinnis' phone number on their Facebook page, on their Twitter page, so that people, went and bothered him. He said he got hundreds of phone, or if not thousands of phone calls and texts.
Right.
Die white supremacists, die white supremacists. I'm going to have, what is it? Gavin, I read the article actually before, and he was talking about how, oh, fuck it, I'll just read it now. He talked about how, where is it?
You said it earlier, too. It's like, go live your life. Is this what you're doing all day?
Right. Smash Racism DC. Smash Racism DC, which is ridiculous. This guy named, who was his awful name? Michael Isaacson. Okay. So he is the leader of Smash Racism DC. And one of the guys, one of the texts and one of the calls, one kid told me he's going to marry his Asian girlfriend and make a non-white baby, like that was going to make me mad. This is Gavin saying this. He said, and then Gavin said, I already did that 3 times, dude. Gavin McGinnis, founder of the Proud Boys, is married to a Native American woman.
Absolutely.
They made 3 kids, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, this is not, so like people trying to get under your skin, they're trying to get under Gavin's skin.
Who are you trying to fight?
You're not fighting the right people. Like, this is a fake. I hope it's happening, not just with the Charlottesville anniversary and things like this. Oh, but that's what I was going to say. I think I accidentally ran into Smash Racism DC. I think it was last night or the night before, because I was looking up something about. I was looking at the Proud Boys. There's a couple of different Facebook pages, and I saw Smash Racism DC. This is Gavin's phone number. I just thought it was fake, and then turns out today I read that, and then I went back onto Facebook because Gavin was banned, right? Mm-hmm. All these quote unquote these evil white supremacist Proud Boys are banned from Facebook and Twitter, and the people who actually did bad shit, Smash Racism DC is still up on fucking Facebook.
Right.
Still up on fucking Facebook.
Yeah.
Even though they doxed people intentionally.
Right.
It's known. It's a known fact.
Right.
And yet the people who actually did the bad shit is skating perfectly fine. That they took the post down. I don't know if Facebook did or Smash Racism DC, but these people actually did bad shit, and yet Gavin and the Proud Boys are kicked off.
ISIS groups still have Twitter handles.
Really?
Yes. I mean, we're so used to this by now. It's gone way overboard. Where Candace Owens.
Yeah.
You see that when they're spitting at her and they're calling her a white supremacist.
Wow.
And, I mean, she's
a black woman.
Hello, right. She's black. She's a black woman. You're spitting at her, calling her a white supremacist. Ben Shapiro, you're calling him a Nazi. He's a fucking Jew.
Right. And not just
he's like the super
he has a yarmulke
Jewish,
on at all times.
He's like down to be a super Jew.
Right,
he's Jewish as all hell, and you're gonna call him a Nazi. It's like, so it comes to the point where someone's gonna get hurt, which nobody wants. We don't want that. No. So the politicians have to step up because I'm hoping it happens with this midterm election where something changes, because it needs to change, because someone's gonna get killed. Someone's gonna get killed.
People already have. I mean, the Charlottesville thing, but the problem is that that victim at Charlottesville, God rest her soul, I think it was her.
Yeah,
is not. She was not killed by Proud Boys. She was not killed by like I hate that Facebook and all these groups, and not even these quote unquote far opposition, groups, not Smash Racism DC or whatever the hell, but like fucking CNN calls the people, right wing. There's a right wing rally. Wait. Hang on. There's a difference. Do not conflate right wing with alt right or right wing with white supremacy. Like, stop confusing that. It's not evil versus good. There are some people who believe these things and some people who believe those things.
Exactly.
I don't agree with everything Gavin McInnes believes. I don't agree with everything Milo whatever the goddamn his last name is. But I'm allowed to, like we did it in the 2016 fucking election.
Yes.
You make a decision. You make it. If these are my two choices, fuck it. All right, fine. I'll make this decision. I would have changed my vote. And I would definitely vote for Trump in 2020. Yeah. Get mad all you fucking want.
Right.
If we're 40 fucking minutes into this and you haven't started to open your mind a little more to Trump, come on, girl. But anyway, like we all said, fuck it. What's the least evil? What's the lesser of two evils? Fine, I'll choose that. And yet now no one is allowed to do that. Like you have to be all with us or all against us.
Right.
People made Black Panther, which is, I don't like the movie because of the political shit, but like people made Black Panther and yet gave shit to Black Panther because there weren't enough gay characters. Yes, exactly. What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong?
They're imploding on themselves. They're eating their own. There's got to be a new outrage every day. It's got to come to a head, or they got to die out.
Right.
I'm just amazed every day, and like I can't help it. Like people tell me, just get off Facebook, stop, arguing with people, and stop. Right. Oh, if I get in debate, I'm gonna be there like 300 responses later, because my whole thing is this is me personally, not Proud Boys, but like because I'm really trying to change minds. Mm-hmm. I'm probably lucky, maybe like 1 out of 50 people. But just that one person means everything to me.
Of course.
Because I'm like, dude, you're no longer being lied to. The veil's off now. Like, the truth, and that makes me feel good.
So you said, there's a couple of things. You said when I debate. So what does your normal debate look like? Is it always online, or is it sometimes in person?
It's both. It's in person. It's
okay.
It's better in person, because actually you can see a person's emotions coming out when we're talking to them. They could see me, not being aggressive, or because I'm not like, I'm being calm.
Right.
But online, I'll just post one little, something about the economy, doing great. Right. That's all it takes.
Right.
And I'm bombarded.
Right.
F this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, well, tell me why.
Right.
And then we just get into it.
Right.
And I don't know, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Isn't there something good about it?
I mean,
I think that's probably our own defects of character that, rearing its ugly. But that doesn't necessarily mean we're wrong. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, nor does it mean it shouldn't happen either. Right. You know what I mean?
You know what I was going to say another thing too about, all these groups, Black Lives Matter and, just these opposition groups. But, do
you want me to cut that out later?
Yeah, sure. But, okay. I always notice this, and I always bring it up. It's like, why aren't you guys helping your community? Like,
okay.
You're just having rallies to supposedly fight fascists and race. Like, how about you help your community, the people that you're supposedly protecting?
Right.
Like Proud Boys Bay Area, like we pride ourselves on that. We've been doing since we started. We do massive works in the community. We never promote it because we don't want them to come and try to like dox our, volunteer work and stuff like that.
Right.
But we help veterans. We help soup kitchens.
Right.
We did this great cause for single mothers that got out of rehab for drug addictions.
Wow.
Like, because, we'll just might as well get to it. Like, this is what Proud Boys are all about. We're not a white supremacists. We're not even really political per se.
Okay.
We just get along because we kind of like the same politics.
Okay.
But we're like, we're fraternity. We're like brothers. Like, when we say brothers, that means if I need someone to help me, my car runs out of gas, I'm going to have someone there.
Right.
If my kids, I don't have kids, but, if their kids want to play with my kids, we're hanging out, we're barbecuing, we're having beers.
Sure.
That's so volunteering. It's just a men's group.
Right.
Period.
That's what Gavin said is similar to like the Elks or, those type
Knights of Columbus
Knights of, where it's just, the American Legion Hall, where it's just like you go there and you drink and you kind of have a club.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
There are some places, and this is, people call it, different names, but even these days in the San Francisco area, there's something called the Battery.
Right.
where it's men and women and lots of different people, but they're all a part of this club. And you know that they pay a lot of money in dues or in monthly dues or whatever that is. And you have to be referred from one of the other battery members in order to get into the battery.
Right.
And the battery has shows there and bars there and multiple floors, and it's very chic and very blah, 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 blah. And not just that, but they also have to interview. You have to have references. They have to interview you once or twice or more or whatever just to get into this club. And it's very, and it's all centered mostly around the booze, but also mostly around, hey, I'm a part of this club too. Oh, yeah, I'm a part of this club too. Like, there's, it's like going to a bar where there are people who are, everyone at that bar is affluent, or everyone at that bar isn't going to get, completely wasted and puke in the bathroom. Like it's like going to a bar with like nice people, or that's I guess the idea. Right. It still gets high school like everywhere else, but like that is a club that should be around. Like I don't see why,
And I mean, we have ideals that are not PC. Like we have our tenets that we believe in. Okay, and that should be okay to believe them, and they're not even that bad. Like
what's if you don't mind extrapolate on some of the tenets.
One of the big ones is venerate the housewife. There's been a big, there's been a big attack on women that stay home and take care of their kids.
Sure.
It's all about, you don't need a man, you don't need kids, you don't need kids, just get a career.
Right.
That's fine. Cool, do that. But it's also okay for a woman to stay home with their kids, because I've seen it firsthand, here in the Bay Area, I can't believe this, effing blah, blah, blah with their kids, like, ew, like, it's like, what's wrong with that? Right. That's actually a beautiful thing.
So venerate, by the way, because I'm dumb.
Uphold into a high up to a high standard.
Okay. So you're not saying, or by venerate the housewife, you're not saying, every woman should stay in the room. Right. You're saying stop picking on, like, it's okay for a woman to choose to not go to fucking work.
And we're trying to tell women, like, they do that. We love you. Thank you. Like, you're shaping lives.
Right.
You had a kid.
Right.
That's a miracle already. And then you're shaping this, kid to be a productive human being.
Right.
And, thank you, pretty much. We're just saying thanks. Right. And, we get this misogynist label. It's like, what are you talking about? Let's see. Another one is, we just recognize that the West is the best. And that doesn't mean we're any kind of supremacist or nationalist. We just believe that we love, like, our culture, American culture.
Right.
The West is best. And we say we don't apologize for creating the modern world, because we did.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? Like, why can't we be happy about where we are, where we're from?
Right.
Like, I don't get it.
And just to expound on that a little bit, one of the things that I've thought that started to eke in my head about this illegal immigration thing is that there's so much, like, first things first, if America wasn't the shit, why would so many people want to come here? Exactly. Like, it's like literally, 45 times more immigration, even legal immigration, comes to America versus like the number 2 on the list. Right. Like, there's so many people trying to come here because it kind of is fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. That's number 1. And number 2, no one ever addresses the idea that, okay, like, or let me rephrase it. No one in the left ever addresses, okay, there's all these Mexicans coming over, blah, blah, blah. All right, why does Mexico suck ass? Like, no one ever even asks the fucking question. Right. No one ever, and maybe sometimes we'll talk about the drug cartels. But other than that, like, no one, in fact, when it was Vicente Fox and they were putting him up on a pedestal, oh, look, he said something shitty about Trump, that Trump should pay for the wall. No, okay, so he's a fucking hero? Right. Your country sucks ass. Yeah. Like, why does your country suck balls? Just, can you address that? Or can at least the left say, like, yeah, a lot of people are trying to come over here, and there's a reason for that.
You know what? Just 6 years ago, Obama was saying build a wall. Obama was saying we need to cut down on immigration.
Oh, really?
10 years before that, Biden Clinton was saying build a wall.
Oh, really?
Schumer was saying build a wall. It's all politics. It's all lies. They're like little clowns, just
they
lying.
Want the control, really.
Exactly. And I'll get into the immigration thing real quick. Me personally, it pisses me off because the left doesn't give a shit about immigrants. They don't give a goddamn about illegal immigrants. If they really fucking cared about these immigrants, illegal immigrants, they would want them to come legally. So when they get here, they can actually be paid a proper wage. Because those people that are working in the fields, they're getting paid like fucking $4 an hour, $2 an hour.
Right.
If they came legally, they begin $15 an hour.
Right.
It's a big fucking difference.
Right.
Health benefits and all that shit. So if you really cared about them, you would encourage them to come legally.
Right.
And assimilation is real. You know, people that come just jump over the border. Oh, I got in. They're going to take advantage of what they're dishing out. All the free everything, you know. But when someone, you know, pays the money, they take the classes, the civics classes and all that. They learn about the country, the history. It's a process, and it's kind of arduous, and it's tough.
Yeah.
But it makes you appreciate when you get here so much more.
Right.
And
And not just that. So my grandparents came from, I think my great-great-grandparents came from, some of them from Germany. My grandparents came from Puerto Rico. So, like, they did it the right way, and they busted their ass, and it was, but anyway, but besides that, there also is, I mean, obviously there's a long list, but put that aside for a second. There is also, what is it? What is it called? Damn it, I'm losing my word. Isn't it where...
Amnesty?
Not amnesty. Where someone can stay here for, I think it's 5 years, and then
the working visas,
yeah. So working visas, you can get visas that will let you. So, or you're a permanent resident rather than I'm either illegal or 100% legal. Like you have to actually be here for a while before you get to legally take the test and legally become. So we're not kicking all the fucking people who are saying hi, I'm here out.
Yeah.
If they say hi, I'm here, I'd like to become there's a process to do it. It's not like we have to just kick you out right away.
Right.
And not just fucking that. And I've thought this for a while. Because, you know what, actually, now that I think about it, I do remember, because I've been in California for a long time, I do remember going, I think it was somewhere around San Jose one day, longer than 2 years ago. I was somewhere around San Jose, and I looked at all the signs, and all of them were in Spanish. And I was like, well, and I do remember this. In fact, earlier than that, I tried to get a job when I was like maybe 17, 18. I tried to get a job at a McDonald's in Redwood City, and I couldn't because I didn't speak Spanish.
Exactly.
And so I'm like, okay. So I remember, but like, okay, say I, Peter Feliciano, decide to go to Germany. I'm going to go to Germany, which is a random example, and I'm not going to even try to learn the language. I'm not going to, I want them to bend to me. Like, I want Germans to put their shit in English. And I also want to do it fucking free. Right. Like, I don't want to pay. I don't want to come through any checkpoint. I don't want to get on any.
Right.
I don't want you to check my background.
Right.
Or I don't want to get fingerprinted. Right. I want to just go over there.
Right.
Like, get a visa as an example as a visitor, and then just say, well, no, I live here now, and nothing you can fucking do. You don't know my name, you don't know my nothing, and I want to get paid without paying any taxes to Germany.
Absolutely.
That would mean that I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
Now, here's why the left, in my opinion, thinks that Mexicans can't be assholes, because they're brown. That's racist as fuck.
Exactly. 100% racist.
God damn it.
Yeah, especially in California, they're trying to create a permanent voting class. That's what they.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
They want illegals flooding in because that's going to be their base. Because I mean.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I mean, California tries their hardest, and they still have a stronghold on this state, but Trump won. That's
tough cookies.
In no way, shape, or form was he supposed to win.
Yeah.
I mean, with all the money, all the media, you got Jay-Z and Beyonce, and it didn't mean shit. It didn't mean shit because people are fucking tired of it. They see through this already. The internet's pretty awesome to find out things.
Right.
We didn't have that back in the day, so people couldn't research for themselves.
Right.
So you can't lie anymore. We're gonna find out. We're gonna figure it out.
Right.
And that's why I have hope. They're gonna lose sooner or later.
Yeah. Either
they're gonna fucking destroy it, and we'll have to build it back up, but they're going to lose no matter what.
Right.
So that gives me sliver of hope.
Right. And not only are there a lot of black people and Mexicans and lots of the gays and stuff I remember when I was still voting for Bernie, I found out that my close family member who's gay voted or was going to vote for Trump. And I'm like,
awesome.
And I was like, that's weird. You know what I mean? Like, because it takes little things like that, and it shouldn't. I mean, when I was talking, so I don't want to lean on, like, in these conversations, in debates, in whatever, I don't want to lean on my identity to mean that I'm right.
Absolutely.
I don't want to go, motherfucker, I'm half Puerto Rican, or I'm a third 16th, so I'm allowed to say nigga. Like, I don't want to just lean on that in order to defend free speech. I don't want to lean on my identity in order to say, well, I have a close family member who's gay, or I've, whatever, in order to justify that stuff. Like, I want to just be able to fight it just on logic alone, which is difficult. It's hard not to just go, all right, you know what? Fuck you. I'm pulling the cord. I'm Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? White guilt.
I mean, that's why you gotta love Trump, because Trump, he only knows green money.
That's true.
So he's just, his whole thing is...
He does like to win, too. I think money and winning.
Of course.
Money and winning.
He loves to win bigly. That's his thing. And I know he's not, because he's like, let's make everybody money. Mm-hmm. And I mean, everybody can get behind that. I mean, should get behind that. Let's make this money. I don't care if you're black, brown, gay, whatever. Let's all make this money. Right. Let's get this money. What's wrong with that? Right. So that's what I really like about the dude. Right. When it comes to, like, I mean, come on, dude. He's had legal immigrants working for him since day one for all his hotels and everything. Mm-hmm. There's interviews with, and they love him. He's walking around giving $100 bills to people, just the concrete workers and construction workers. He calls them all by name. He's loved. But just damn, the media, just they've had a stronghold for so long. They got the movies, they got Hollywood, they got
education.
Yeah, and like I'll tell you one thing. Like, we keep talking about the right and conservatives. Like, Proud Boys, we hate the right too, because the
far right.
We hate it. Well, we hate those guys for sure, but we hate, like, when we're talking about politicians, we hate establishment, any kind of establishment politician. Okay. Because they're one and the same.
Like, I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So, like, as an example, Bush, or maybe a better example, current
Bush's,
example.
Clintons.
Okay. Yeah, and even like the Cruzes and the
Cruz is he's okay. He's all right.
A little too polished.
But we still give him a pass. Right. But there's a new group of conservatives that are coming up that look pretty awesome. Right. And that's all because of Trump. He's setting the tone for a whole new thing. And now with the Supreme Court picks, things are gonna change. Right. If, God forbid, they don't try to kill the guy or steal the vote.
So I would love to talk about some hypocrisy of the left, because one of the things, I can't remember how it sparked into my head, but the statues, the Trump statues with the tiny pee-pee and the fat body and all that stuff, I think it's kind of fine to fat shame. Yeah. And I say this as a formerly 350 pound man. I mean, in my life, I have been suicidal over the fact that I can't lose weight. Like, I fucking understand. Right. But that is not to say that I was doing everything in my power to lose weight. Right. And not just that. Right. That does not give someone else. I don't think that person, someone else, should be taken, like, their jokes taken away because I went through something. You know what I mean? Yeah. And totally. Yet, on the left, there's this whole idea of don't body shame. Why is it okay to body shame when it's Trump? Right. Why is it okay to slut shame when it's Trump? Right. Oh, he doesn't care about his family, or going after this shit with what's her face, the porn star. By the way, have you ever seen? I was. Cover your ears, everybody. But I was watching porn earlier, and there was this preview with Stormy Daniels in the thing. Her tits are weird. Oblong. They're not regular cool tits. They might have been cool. I mean, obviously they're fake, but like there's a better way. And maybe it's just time is just wearing them down. But anyway,
I mean, yeah. I would assume that profession is just gotta be just torture on everything, including your soul and yeesh.
Yeah, maybe.
God knows what else. Plastics and...
But like, so it's okay to slut shame Trump. It's okay to fat shame Trump. And one of the things that I thought about is that, okay, if a personality is more important than the principle, I do not believe the principle. Mm-hmm. If I don't, and it says, it's kind of cheap. We throw it around on memes or whatever. But like, if you genuinely don't believe in free speech for everyone, you do not believe in free speech at all.
Right.
Right? Now, obviously, inciting violence is another thing. You know, telling people to go kill people, like, that's a whole nother thing, even though people do it on Facebook constantly, and they're fine. Go kill yourself. You know, whatever. That's fine. But if people don't actually... If you non-fat shamers and non-slut shamers actually give a fuck about not fat shaming and not slut shaming, you would stop the people who are fat shaming and slut shaming Trump.
And you know what? I got to say that, there, you know... For people on the right, the conservatives, they also have to not jump on everything that's outraged too. You know, like just,
right.
Hey, now you don't got to be like them. Now, who cares about Nikes? Why are you burning your shoes? You don't have to do all that shit. Like,
that's childish shit.
Let's be better than that. Like all around.
Right.
But the left, it's just a circus. Every day is a circus. Every day. It's really amusing to me, actually. I love going on. I don't know. You should check out Drudge Report.
No, I never.
That's like. He just compiles all the news stories from, you know, around the country and the world.
Right.
And I just go down the list of just madness on a daily basis. And just, I don't know, it's amusing to me, but yeah, I don't know where we go.
So how impossible is it? And obviously, you know, I'm not saying talk about what your plans are as the Proud Boys or whatever, but like you said, you know, we don't know what to do. We're kind of in a weird position with this doxing shit. Like, is it high road? Is it the reason why you don't dox them as an example, as a group? Is it because, well, first things first, not enough people would be willing. Like, I think first things first, conservatives have a job, and so they can't.
Yeah. No, yeah,
they can't call.
I know what you're saying, but you're about to say the high road, right?
Yeah. Is that the reason why you guys don't want to do that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because like I said in the beginning, dude, we don't give a damn what you think, what you feel, like what your thoughts are, what you think society should be. We don't agree with you. That's that.
Right.
I'm not trying to ruin your life.
Interesting.
So,
okay.
I mean, we do kind of know where we're at. It's just we're just gonna keep trucking through. You know, if it happens, it happens. We're not gonna change. We're not gonna stop being who we are.
Mm-hmm. And I think enough people are starting to see the insanity of it. But I wish more famous people would do it. Like I wish more. Like I wish. You know, who did I just block? It's so much fun to block people. Especially like when I get, for some reason, Twitter and Facebook, like they're fine with Smash Racism DC keeping a fucking profile. But they keep throwing out like, I can't tell you how many times I had to block Now This. Do you know Now This?
Oh, God.
Over and over, I would have, okay, click on the little 3 dots, hide all from Now This Politics. And then literally someone would share something from Now This Politics and I get to see it because someone else shared it.
Yeah.
That's not how blocking works. Like you motherfuckers did this. And so I actually stopped only recently, now that I think about it, did I stop seeing it. But on Twitter, someone, Alyssa Milano, bastion of art, put up something that said, hey GOP, hey at GOP, fuck yeah. And I was just like, I don't even follow Alyssa Milano, but they're showing me, you know, here's this person who you follow. They follow that. And so I click block Alyssa Milano, and it just feels so good. Yeah. It just feels so freeing. Delicious.
That's the problem. Is like, and then I thought about it too. It's like you're idolizing a person that pretends to be another person on the TV screen for money. You know, these actresses, they got, what's the name of Harvey Weinstein off for a part in a movie. They're just people on a TV screen.
Right.
They're not shit. They don't have real jobs. They don't have.
Right. Here, put the mic a teensy bit closer. No. You can sit back where you were. Just move the mic closer.
I'm telling you right now, though. You know, I wish I had more. We had more people in Hollywood and stuff like that on our side, but we have a few of them. But it's hard. But you know what? That whole facade, just Hollywood in general, is going to be crashing down very, very soon.
Yeah.
It's over. The pedophilia, the Me Too movement. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they didn't help Hillary out at all.
Oh, I haven't watched it yet.
Jay-Z and Beyonce, they're the 2 biggest stars in the world. They didn't do shit for her. So it's like, people don't care anymore. You know, like, we only see things from from New York and California because they run all media.
Right.
Because they're all liberals.
Right.
So we just see that, and the rest of the country is like, fuck these guys.
I haven't watched it yet, but I watched on I follow Steven Crowder, and I do Bell. The Bell too. Apparently, you have to do on YouTube. I pay enough to SoundCloud and YouTube and the podcasting hosting service. I'm not going to pay another $10. I'm sorry, Steven. I'm sorry, Ben. I'm not going to sign a CRTV. I'm going to do my best to get off my lawn on free YouTube videos. Right. He almost made me subscribe today, but I'm not going to do it. All right.
Right.
I fucking goddamn it. I'm not broke, but like shit.
Yeah.
Anyway. I'll get there eventually. I even realized today I pay for Netflix and HBO, but 30 Rock, 30 Rock, the show, moved to Hulu.
Right.
So I'm like, shit, do I have to pay for
Don't
Hulu
worry, man.
too? God damn it.
I told Gavin in person, I was like, hey, it's cool that I like get all your bootleg shows. And he doesn't care.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot the point. I'm sure it was really important, but like, I would love to hear your experience meeting him. How many times have you met him?
I've only met him once.
Okay. What was that like?
I can't say where it was and all that stuff, but he's he's way cooler. But Gavin is just like he always is on screen. He said
Milo is cooler?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just
That's just
kidding.
because you got the email from a motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just kidding. But no, Gavin is exactly what he is. He's not fake. He's exactly what he is on screen.
Okay.
He's to the point. He's short.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not keeping his attention, probably should walk away. That's it.
Right.
But he's awesome. That's why we like him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. What was Milo like?
He hugs.
Oh yeah.
Real gracious.
Right.
He was awesome.
Right.
Yeah. You gotta love Milo.
I think. I mean, there's a couple of times over the last 6 months. Milo's Facebook page, there's been times where I'm like, all right, okay, I know Milo.
Of course.
All right.
Of course.
But like even then, like I appreciate him for what he is. I feel like I certainly needed that, and it sounds like you needed something a little more brash in your face. Which is kind of what Trump is doing. Like it's not like I would trust so like I kind of feel like it's Super Friends where I would like we need someone who's a little more presidential. And I'm not saying he's going to or whatever, but Shapiro's more, he's a fucking lawyer. And he's very quick, but he also doesn't he doesn't cuss and he doesn't eat his tongue and so he eat his tongue. He doesn't eat his shoe or whatever, foot or whatever. Like he's just, and he just goes off like a fucking tiny Jewish missile. Right? So we need somebody like that. But we also need someone who's funny. Shapiro's not fucking funny. Sometimes whatever. But like we need like a Crowder. We need someone who appeals to the left, so Rogan works well. We need someone who's a humongously smart man, so we need Jordan Peterson. We need someone who's keeping an eye on manhood, which is I believe Gavin is doing.
And that's what we're doing too.
Yeah, keeping an eye on manhood. Let's keep our balls, you know what I mean? Let's not be afraid to fight. If I need a fighter, I'm not going to go to Jordan. If I need a fighter, I'm not going to go to Shapiro. I'm going to send Gavin in there, and he's not afraid to fight if necessary.
Exactly.
And to scrap and shit. And, I think Milo does I may not agree with everything he says. I may not agree with his tact or the way he said it. But like, God bless him. We need him around, and I want him happy, I'm glad he got married or whatever the hell. Like, that's cool.
And I'm glad you brought that up about, like the Proud Boys keeping because that's one of our biggest fights. It's like keeping manhood, and people just flip out when they hear that.
Right.
You guys are this and that. Is like no, because there's a cultural war against women that stay home and take care of their kids. There's also a war against men and boys.
They're really.
I mean, they're trying to feminize. I mean, it's just obvious. You're trying to feminize kids, and you're also trying to tell kids that they don't have to be the gender that they're
born with.
I mean, there's just something wrong with a 5-year-old getting gender reassignments and taking hormone pills. Like that's just child abuse.
It's creepy.
It's fucking child abuse.
Fucked up shit.
And that's the stuff. Those are like the only couple things that we're like, actually, no. There's no middle ground. It's like, no, fuck that. We're not doing that.
Right.
You're not going to do that to our kids.
Right.
You're not going to teach them sex ed in 5th grade. We're not down with that shit. It's not happening.
I think I got sex ed in 6th grade. Was it? I don't know. I can't remember.
And then kids getting in trouble because they're. Like Gavin said, they're rambunctious. They'll give them pills, give them Ritalins. No.
Right.
Like
boys are supposed to be kind of awful people.
Yeah.
Like boys are supposed to run around and break shit and like you have to deal with us, but that doesn't mean pump us full of pills and tell us that, it's not okay to ask a girl out. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
third wave third wave feminist. What are you fighting? You have every right that a man has. There's no law at all.
At all.
Name me one.
Well, unless because I talked about it on Allie's episode, the last episode. I screamed about it a little bit, but people want to talk about an imaginary wage gap that's here, or a wage gap from intention, a wage gap that women make less, and we can get on that, but or they want to shit on somebody for like I was actually hanging out with these people bowling a couple of 2 months ago or so. There's a little 18-year-old girl. She was definitely 18.
Right.
And we're all there and we're kind of chatting, and I start chatting her up a little bit, and we're flirted, and I thought, and so everything's fine, blah blah blah. And I'm like, whatever. Okay, this is cool. And then I was like, hey, let me get your number. So she gives me her number. I'm okay. I'm getting green lights. I'm getting green lights. And then I think we were all wrapping up, and I texted her like, "Hey, why aren't we making out right now?" You know what I mean? Like just being funny, making a slight whatever. And then she didn't text back, and I didn't hear from her for like an hour, and I'm like, "Oh, this is weird. This is maybe I shouldn't have done that." So I texted her like, "Hey, is this okay? You all right?" Like I didn't mean to offend. She's like, "No, it's fine. It's just I'm just not in the place to date right now." I'm like, "Okay, no big deal."
Yeah.
And then her friend calls me and asks, "Hey, my friend said that there was something like inappropriate that happened."
God.
And I'm like, yeah, but like she's an adult, I'm an adult, and I explained what happened, and her friend was like, "Oh yeah, she's just being dramatic." So my friend, her friend understood.
Yeah.
But I could have gotten in trouble, quote unquote, because I fucking hit on somebody.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, like a sheep. Like, you can't look at me the wrong way. You can't,
Yeah.
And I'm gonna rant a little bit more. Real ass motherfucking women, if they're being truthful about themselves, do not want a bitch. You do not want to. You are not sexually attracted. Look at what everybody these days. Whose dick are they sucking right now? Jason fucking Momoa.
Yeah.
Does he look like a bitch?
Yeah.
No, he throws axes and drinks beer and looks like he could rape the fuck out of you. And yet you guys are masturbating to the motherfucker. Right. You guys are turned on by that motherfucker. Yep. I wonder why. Yeah, I guess it's because he's respectful. No, it's because he's a fucking man.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Do you see Thor wearing a pussy hat? No, never. Ain't gonna happen. It's the soy boys. The soy boys are the worst.
They really are, dude.
And that's what we're fighting against. It's like we're not gonna conform and start wearing beanies when it's 90 degrees outside, and it's not gonna happen. We're men. We're gonna be men.
Right.
We like women. We love our wives. We love our girlfriends.
Right.
You can do whatever you want, but just pretty much just leave us the fuck alone. We just want to be left alone to be us. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to change anybody.
Right. And I don't mind. Like, as far as the trans thing, I don't mind if you're 17, 18, 19. Like, if you're older than 18, cut your dick off. I don't care. Like, do whatever you want to do. If you're being truthful with yourself and you want to, I don't want the state to pay for it. I don't want the government to pay. I don't want my taxes to pay for it because I don't think I should be responsible for that. Not morally, but just like, hey, I don't want my tax money to pay for my fucking hernia surgery either. But anyway, and then also like I think if it really is legit, hey, be whatever you want, then I'm allowed to be a fucking man.
Right.
I'm allowed to fucking to spiritually grab my balls and be the fucking man that I am.
And they come up with these words cis and this and like, no, I'm I'm a man. Just shut the fuck up.
Right.
But here's you'll trip out on this though. I played in a group in the Bay Area here, and they had perform like I was in the band, but they had performers and dancers and stuff, and some of them were drag queens, and some of them are. I knew a couple trans people. I mean, they're cool as hell. They're just normal fucking people. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I talked to them personally about it, and they actually respected me because they knew what the beliefs that I have, and they're like gave me credit. Like, that's pretty ballsy.
Nice.
But they said,
how would you approach them?
They said, well, they would talk to me about it. Like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And then I would ask them. I was like, have you noticed that trans has been in the news. Like, how do you feel about that? And they're fucking pissed. This is like a phenomenon like they made up. Trans people, I knew three trans people. And they don't want people to know. They actually
they want to pass.
They want to be left alone just like everybody else. This isn't something like, they're trying to like, look at me. It's not like that.
Right.
It's one of the hardest decisions, obviously, that anybody could ever fucking make.
Right.
And they want to keep it that way. Right. They two of them told me like they feel it's like a mental thing. They can't help themselves.
Right.
They just felt so much like the other gender. They just had to do it.
Right. Totally.
And they don't want to promote it. They don't want to teach it to kids. They don't want it. They don't want people using them as little tools for politics. Right. And so it's just
And not all of them, but a lot of them, I feel like want to be called, like if I'm a trans man going to if I'm a man who's transitioning to a woman, like call me a woman. Like I feel like a woman. Right. I don't feel like in my head I came out of the womb going, I'm a trans person. No, I feel like I'm in the wrong body. I've done the work, the therapeutic work and the mental work and the emotional, all the spirit, all the underlying stuff, the internal stuff, to know myself well enough to know I've struggled through the shit to know what I'm ready to become a woman. Yeah, call me a fucking woman. Yeah. Like I'm down with calling you whatever the fuck you want, I guess, as long as it's not you're making me like Jordan
exactly.
Peterson.
And even that, one of them was like, "Yeah, I still look like a dude." He's like, I still look like a dude. He's like, I'm not gonna get fucking mad at someone if they call me a dude. Like, they don't fucking know. Right. I got shoulders like a linebacker. It's not gonna change anything.
Right.
And so
And real ass motherfuckers, like whether you be woman, man, whatever, wouldn't be upset about that. I think. Right. Like if you're not looking to get offended, then you won't get offended. Right. You know what I mean? If someone, not just that, but like if someone misraces me, I'm not in the least like. Maybe it's because I kind of have more. I relate to. I think I don't know. If I really had to think about it, I feel like I outwardly relate to more whitish, but even though I'm more Puerto Rican than anything else, but like, if I hang out, around, my Puerto Rican side of my family, all this and I'm fucking,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
Like if I hang around black motherfuckers, I'm start feeling more black. And that's okay. But like, if you misrace, name me, like I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? People are like, what are you, Asian? I'm like, no. Real motherfuckers are not gonna go like, oh, I'm Korean actually. Like, oh, okay, sorry. Like it's not that important to our relationship.
Exactly. That's why like nowadays I'm like, what are you? I'm like, I'm American. I'm Mexican American. I'm Mexican American.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what to say. It pisses me off when they try to say, "Oh, you're a traitor" and all this. Because I tell them, you know what? I've been to fucking Mexico and I almost got murdered over there. And I almost got.
Who calls you a traitor?
Oh man, I mean, one out of every three lefties.
Is it mostly online?
Mostly online, and I mean, there's been a couple times in person.
Okay,
but
family members. I hope not.
Yeah, a couple family members.
Fuck.
But that's fine. I don't even trip off it. Now I'm at the point now. It's like, because I know for a fact, like I would do anything for anybody that I know, even if I don't really know you that well. If you need help, I'm gonna fucking give you the shirt off my back. Right. So if you're gonna disregard me because of my beliefs, then fucking bye.
Right.
Sorry.
Because the principle is more important than the personality.
Yeah. If you can't get past that, then I have no use for you. I don't care if you're blood, any of that shit.
Right.
But yeah, I always tell them I've been to Mexico. I almost got kidnapped. Well, I did get kidnapped and almost got murdered over there. And so, and they fucking hated me anyways when I was over there because they said I was like a gringo, like a.
Oh right.
They knew that I was Mexican, but I'm not Mexican enough to hang around them in Mexico.
Fuck.
So I could give a fuck about that. America's my country. I was born here. My parents were born here.
Right.
My grandparents were born here.
Right.
My great parents, they came legally.
Right.
So it's like, miss me with that fucking you're Mexican shit.
And not just that, there are so many different, like, sometimes I will hang around, like, and I know a lot of musicians. I've written a lot of hip hop hooks for rappers. Sick. I know a lot of the hip hop community. I listen to a lot of hip hop. I listen to a lot of everything. But like, sometimes there are some people who are specifically going for, I relate to this, I'm going to wear a dashiki. Like, bitch, you were born 18 years ago in fucking San Jose. Stop. It's like, you don't relate. Like, I don't relate. Like, okay, yeah, if I get around some Puerto Rican food, like, I'm fucking, benga, come. You know what I mean? But, like, I don't relate. Like, I relate to the kind of American lifestyle, to the American food, to the American dress, to the American whatever. Like, I'm kind of here, you know what I mean? Call it white, call it whatever the fuck you want. I think it's more Western, right?
Yeah. It can go both ways. Yeah, go ahead.
Right, and all I'm saying is, like, there's so much push to, like, and really it's because there's a pride in being a victim. And if I can look super black, and if I can be all dashiki'd out, then I am above you. I am unquestionable. You cannot question any of my decisions to dress and not just that. Any artistic experience or any artistic endeavor, I am now a hero. Go fuck yourself. Is it funny? Or is it good music? Is it good dancing? Don't just call yourself a fucking hero. Now, this art is important. Is it good, motherfucker?
Bro, I got this. The one that got me the worst is, like, how could you be a Trump supporter? You play in a reggae band. And I'm like, what? I gotta stop it. Do you really like reggae? I can't, dude. Bob Marley, and that's it. Everybody else I'll be dead honest with you. There's only 2 reggae bands that are the shit to me. Still Pulse and Bob Marley, of course.
Okay.
But the band that I'm in, it's like a reggae rock band. We're pretty fucking sick.
Okay.
You got to come check them out. But it could also go the other way as well. When they try to push, because I am Mexican American, and you can't put people in boxes. It's called a democratic plantation. They put you in a little box. It could also go the other way too. Like, I look the way I look, but also, like, I'm in the music industry. 5-6 years ago, I was in Hunters Point all the time, or I was in East Oakland with these rappers, because for some reason they have a hard time with melodies. So I'd be helping them record
melodies.
Melodies, helping record stuff and, like, kind of like helping produce and stuff. So I've been in the hood.
Right.
I grew up in the east side of San Jose. Like, that's the hood.
Yeah. My friend Jake is from there. He's always talking about story and kid. He loves talking about. For some reason, East Siders, like, they just love talking about East Side.
It's like, get out of the damn street already. There's a world out there. Go fucking travel. Go to Milpitas at least. Go venture off.
Don't go to Milpitas.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Nobody listening to this should ever go to Milpitas.
But I hate getting it from both sides. So I hate getting it from the lefties, and then I also get it from people in the hood. Like, you're trying to be like a white boy, this and that. It's like, how about everybody shut the fuck up? I'm just gonna be myself, and I could care less about either one of those 2 types of things.
And not just that. To that point, and I'm not saying it's a good thing necessarily, but, like, sometimes people will go, there's just this automatic, going to the victimhood thing, there's this automatic moral superiority that is attributed to blacks and to people who are to minorities, American minorities, and it's extrapolated from there. But I talked about it last week, and I mean, there's a fight. And I don't know how prevalent it is, but, like, there's a fight often. We're like, you light-skinned nigga. You know what I mean? Like, we're like,
for sure, man.
Darker skin will say that light skin aren't legit.
For sure.
Or you don't act black enough. There's Asian, you know why Asian or Chinese women wear visors? Because the darker your skin, the lower your fucking class.
Exactly, man. It's
and all these
real.
motherfuckers in Muslim countries are throwing motherfuckers off of roofs.
Yeah.
And yet we can't even say, like, hey,
that's not good.
Like, hey, don't stone the woman because she wore pants or because she cheated on her husband.
Yeah.
The left won't even fucking say the words.
Even word feminist. Where are you at, feminist?
Right.
Feminist, exactly. I always tell them, get a one-way ticket to Saudi Arabia and get your ass to work if you really want to get some shit done. Get out of here and go handle it over there. You see, you're full of shit.
God damn. And not just that, but from a real perspective. And obviously, if I'm responsible for just my cul-de-sac, and I do think that there's, it's not like the problems that are lesser shouldn't be addressed. But, like, I don't see a whole lot of, I really don't see a lot of inequality for women in America. Like, I see that there is inequality, but it's more that women, like, have it legit. Like as an example, when I was Ubering, I had this sudden strike one day. These couple of girls got in my Uber and they're just and they're just yakking back and forth, and I picked them up in San Francisco, I think it was. Like they're like business chicks, like they have it so fucking good.
Right.
Nothing about them
Right.
Nothing about them was quote unquote a marginalized shit on person. Like not just that, you could apparently now we have to give you, if you say someone raped you, not only that, you're automatically a victim.
Right.
Like your voice, your words are unquestionable.
Right.
And yet I've had 2 women on the podcast who both know women who have lied about rape. So,
That's
so strange. So fucking strange that, like, I'm sorry, girls, you don't have it bad.
Yeah,
you do not have it bad.
What are you fighting? Exactly.
Here's what I think they're actually fighting. Something about, I think part of it is, sorry, girls, I'm going to say it. I love you very much. But, like, sometimes it is just that some girls just don't understand context. They don't understand. They don't understand jokes, and they don't understand hypothetical. And I'm sorry, girls, but a lot of times you don't. But not you listening to the podcast. Right. You're better than all the other women. But the other thing is, the reason why these girls, or some of them anyway, intrinsic, like way down deep in their belly, they don't feel safe. And I understand that, because dudes can be righteously evil. We can be
for damn sure.
Fucking fantastically maniacal, because our biceps are bigger than yours. Our bodies, we can, right? And so in order to attain the safety that they want, and the freedom too, obviously, to vote and all that stuff, but in order to attain the safety, they want to push us down and say, like, no, I decide what happens to me at all times, and I have power. But suddenly they look around at all these dudes that they're, in order to get safe, which I understand the intention, but in order to get safe, they're just pushing these dudes down and say, no.
Absolutely, man.
And all of a sudden they look around and no one's fuckable. All of a sudden they look around, where have all the cowboys gone?
Right.
Bitch, you got rid of the cowboys. Right. And not just that, it's our fault. It's men's fault for going, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not afraid to say, no, I don't love you.
Right.
Like, I'm not afraid to say, say, no, I don't want to fucking, like, to be a legit man, you know what I mean? But there are a lot of guys who let that happen.
And, like, they took it too far where like, these guys were just, they don't want to deal with the hassle.
Right.
They don't want to deal with it, and they just turned into soy boys. Right. But there's still good women out there, though.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I'm not trying to, like, say this and that. Like, I know some real badass liberal chicks. And, like, man, they're badass. They're ferocious, and they stick to the guns, and I love them for it.
Sure.
But on the conservative side, that old school, I'm a woman, I'm strong because I'm a woman. I don't have to tell you. I'm just strong. Yeah. I in the way I present myself, the way how I make my money. I still love my kids, and I'm just a woman. That's fucking it. Right. You know, it's not this big outrage campaign every single day.
Right.
Like someone's keeping you down. Right. If it wasn't for so check this out. So if a CEO,
hang on 1 second.
Yeah.
I had a question. How are you doing on time?
I'm pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta piss. Would you be all right with a piss break?
Yeah, handle it.
All right. Do you need to use the restroom?
Yeah. Do you mind if I actually go smoke a cigarette?
Please.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let me start recording again. Are we recording again? Yes, we are.
We back.
So you said something about a CEO.
Oh yeah. Man, if women were getting paid less, then every CEO would just hire all women. Wouldn't that just be easier?
Yeah. CEOs are often smart people. They decide like what if the money actually gives a fuck. You know, if they give a fuck about money, which all CEOs do.
But you're right. Women are doing well.
Yeah.
I mean, my girl is killing it right now. Yeah. In what she does. You know, like.
Do you here? Let me put the mic over.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's good. Is that comfortable where it is?
Yeah, there it is.
So you obviously no details, whatever. And
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Before you say that,
yeah.
We love women. We're here for you. We back you up. Whatever you want to do, just do it. Like
okay.
You know, like that's
just don't punish other motherfuckers.
I don't
want to do other things.
Exactly, and you know we're called misogynists. It's like I keep coming back to it. It's like we don't care. Do whatever you want to do.
You just want your own club.
Yeah, we want to be. We have our own ideals. Can we just have our own ideas? Is that okay? Yeah. What's the problem? Can we get together and have beer?
I want to be a part of your club.
Can we go to rallies and when it comes down to protect old ladies that are holding an American flag? Because they've called us out. They've asked us, let's watch out for us. Right. Why can't we just be Americans? We can't have a pro America rally.
Right.
We just want to get together.
Right.
Play some music. Throw the flags around. Hug each other. Walk and just be proud of where we're from. This is America. It's the shit.
Right.
And you're going to come and attack us just because of that? There's a problem with that.
There's when I was a couple years ago, it reminds me of the idea of football and what's happening to football.
Right.
So it's like women are on the outside going, I want to be a part of your club. There's no reason I can't be a part of your club. And then we let them in, and then they put pink shit all over the pink flags or whatever. But even more than that, they look around and go, I don't like this. I don't like this about your club. I don't like. Let's change it. Wait. You asked to be a part of this shit.
Right.
We didn't say, hey girls, what do you think about breast cancer? Yeah, awareness. Where in the fuck it doesn't even make any sense to have breast cancer in the NFL. It doesn't even make any sense to have a bunch of girls, pretty girls, as much as they are. Great. If you're actually into football, be on the field, baby girl. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
But you can't just come into our club, bang on the door. We want to come in, and then we let you in begrudgingly, and then you look around. I don't like this, I'm unhappy with this. Hang on, we let you fucking in. You know what I mean? We didn't ask you similar to Proud Boys. Oh, they must be misogynists because they don't want girls. No, there's a bunch of girl clubs. There's a bunch of girl shit.
We have Proud Boy Girls Club.
Really?
Yes.
What's that? Oh, I guess that's also...
they got their own thing. Just like we do, they got their own thing.
There's a Proud Boy Girls.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Must be all white supremacists.
Yeah. Oh, a bunch of white supremacist women. It's you guys are just...
It feels so good to be right. It just feels so...
Right. Oh, it does. Sorry to say. You know what? And you know what? That's the truth, though. That's the truth, though.
It really does.
When you stop being a victim, and I used to be like that, when you stop being a victim and thinking everybody's out to get you...
Right.
Then you can start really progressing your life and start doing whatever it is that you want to do.
And I think that's ultimately why a lot of people on the left don't like the free market. They don't like the idea that they're not victims, whoever they are.
Right.
It's because it ultimately comes down to responsibility.
Absolutely.
As a human being, I do not, in my nature, do not want responsibility because it means I'm responsible. I'm accountable to what happens. If I fail... Often, not often, but many, many times. No, fuck it. Often, it means I didn't try very hard, or it means I didn't try smart. I didn't work hard, or I didn't work smart, or sometimes it's I have bad luck. I don't want bad things to happen to me. Right. I want to be wrapped in a wool blanket and have everything fed to me. I want everything to come to me. I don't want to work hard. I don't want to be responsible for my actions. I don't want someone to see what I did. Even if I do make a mistake, I want to be excused for my mistake. But I don't make any mistakes.
Right.
But even if I do, like the black people.
Right.
Oh, it's because they had a bad upbringing. Like that South Park episode, I talked about it before. They had this South Park episode about Michael Jackson.
Right.
About everyone's like, oh, he had a bad childhood. He had a bad childhood. It's it doesn't matter. Right. Stop touching kids. It doesn't matter if you had a bad child. It doesn't matter if you had it bad coming up. Larry, Larry Elder.
Oh, he's awesome.
I fucking love Larry Elder, dude. Yeah. Just a loudmouth, fucking smart, doesn't cuss. It's very different from me.
Right.
But just a smart Republican black guy, and talks about how he came from shit too. He had a bad childhood.
Absolutely.
He had bad neighborhood and blah blah blah. Why is he doing quite well for himself and his family?
Right.
What's the difference here? The difference is not the upbringing.
Right.
The difference is not what are the factors that make this difference? Thomas Sowell talks about it too. Also a black, awesome, very smart black economy professor, was he? No, or is he? Anyway, he talks about the differences here are not where the starting off point is,
right.
but what happens after that. Is there a father in the house? Is there, you know what I mean? But these guys, they don't want anybody to have responsibility. They want a big white daddy, a big government daddy to wrap me in wool cotton and not let to wrap me and not let anything bad happen to me ever.
And I'll tell you a personal thing too, because it goes down to even a deeper level, like as far as responsibility, because I'm a musician and I've been pretty successful so far, and if
it's reggae, no, I'm just kidding.
So like when I was like a liberal, like I just want to play music,
right?
And I was like, that's all I needed,
right?
Like I'm just gonna play music, that's all, and I'll be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as I got older, that responsibility thing started like hit me at home, because I started feeling like I think I want a family,
right?
It changed the whole paradigm. I was like, I want to have a family, I want to have a wife, and that's like taking responsibility right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's like that's basically, so I'm so happy that I found Proud Boys, because they all understand that. And, I'll tell some of the guys, they have, their own house and, they're providing for their family.
Right.
I tell them all the time, man, like, you guys are living the American dream. I want that.
Right.
So like, that's my goal. And they're there to help me, to reach that goal.
Right.
And so, when you don't have no responsibility, sooner or later, it's going to get a little hole in your heart. You're going to be like, something's missing.
Yep.
Because, man, that's why we're here. I mean, when it comes down to, we're human beings, right?
Right.
It's either you're trying to make other people's lives better, or you create life and shape it to be a better, better than you have it.
Right.
And so, so that's like Bay Area Proud Boys. I made up our own tagline. It's Bay Area Proud Boys. We're in the business of making better men.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be a better father. Be a better husband.
Mm-hmm. And that doesn't mean
everything.
Fuck everyone who isn't a man. It means we're going to focus on our stuff.
Right.
We're going to make us better. We're going to have a place where we can come and be dudes,
right,
and slap dicks, and drink and like have fun. That way we can blow off that male.
Yeah.
I don't have any. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't have a place. I'm not at work. I'm not at my house. I don't have to think about the kids. I have a place to go where I don't have any social contracts that make me tamp down my manness. I can go to a place and be a dude.
Exactly. And like, here's another thing too for everybody that thinks we have this tongue-in-cheek thing. It's called no wanks.
Okay.
It's not. They're like, oh my God, you guys have a rule that you're not supposed to like masturbate or whatever. What it means is
no wanks.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you said no wanks.
It's tongue-in-cheek. This is what it basically is. It's to make you a better husband or a better, whatever relationship you have, boyfriend. Not to be a fucking asshole who's sleeping around with everybody and cheating on your wife or significant other. It means like you should be, like Gavin said, you should be chasing your wife up the stairs every night. Like,
right.
It's to be a better man and like be more monogamous. I mean, be more just with that one person you love. You know what I mean?
I would call it maybe fruitful. Like you would be more actually enthusiastic about the sex that you have.
Sure, with the person you are. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, because I mean, a lot of people I know, it's just their relationship after that was me at one point. Relationship after relationship, and it was just like after a while, it's just like I want something meaningful, and it's like you got to be a better person first, and then you'll find
Ain't
that
some shit.
Yeah.
I wish that wasn't true. I wish.
I mean, it comes down. See, that's a responsibility thing.
Yeah.
When are you going to take responsibility for how you are?
Right.
It might just be you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I like on that tip. That whole thing that sometimes gets passed around. If you can't handle me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best. Like, no, you do need to change.
Yeah.
That whole thing of like females going like, I don't need to put on heels, and I don't need to I don't need to wear makeup to be a woman. Like, hang on. Like you talked about, I started thinking I want to be a better mate.
Yeah.
I want to be a better man that women look at and go, okay, he looks like somebody I could be with or make kids with, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Guess what? I have to work. I have to make money, and I have to be financial, and I also have to have my balls and be willing to tell her no, and be willing to tell and stand up for myself and stand for other people who can't stand up for themselves, kids, elderly, whatever. I also have to be forwardly, actively thinking about all this. Like I have to work hard. I have to have money, and I have to dress nice.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry. Oh, you have to dress nice? Right. Oh, you poor thing. No, I have to. Okay. I've been sexy when I was fatter.
Yeah.
But not not as sexy as I am now. I'm sorry. It's
Yeah.
just the fucking case. I can talk my way into sexy at 265 and 285, but nothing like I am now. Not like we're like, okay, and that just goes to fucking nature. That just goes to nature that you leftists all believe in fucking all believe in evolution so fucking heartily. Guess what? If I'm a fat person, I'm not going to live as long as someone who's not fat.
Right.
What does that tell your nature? That tells a woman who's looking for a mate who's going to take care and protect of the family body.
Right.
I can't make a kid with this other person because they're not going to live long enough. There's something that's fucking nature, kids. Yeah. God damn it.
And the media, the people in the media, I think they're, it comes down to these people making decisions where they fucked up in their life. And they missed that time period where they could have had kids and been happy or did something meaningful with their life. And so instead, they're just going to try to destroy it as much as possible. It was on, I forgot what magazine it was, where they had like this girl, she's like 280 or something like that. And she's like the new supermodel. It's like, yeah, she's dying. She's dying. Like as we speak, she's dying right now. That's not healthy.
That Gavin put it that way.
Yeah, it's like that's not. Can we be real for a second? That's not healthy. Like, we're not trying to say you have to be,
rail thin.
A rail. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's just like you're putting out the wrong perception, and it's ruining culture.
Right. And I think the intention might have started out like, say I'm a fat woman and I'm doing everything in my power to lose weight.
You don't want to be bullying people. Like,
right. You don't want to say, like, if I'm doing everything in my power and it takes me 6 months to lose, 5 pounds or whatever. Hey, baby, you're doing everything in your power. Although, guess what? As a fat guy, I almost never have done that. So I already know that you're not. But say you are. If you're doing everything in your power, I still know, and Gavin talked about it a little bit too. Like, I know fat girls who put on heels. I know fat girls who put on a nice skirt, who put on makeup, who try. There's so much to try. Try is such an important...
Hey, that's sexy too.
Once it's once you're trying, hey, I may be a fat motherfucker, but I got a nice coat and I'm taking care of myself.
Exactly,
my teeth are brushed, I'm shaved up, that's try. And try is what matters.
I love that.
You know what I mean? Sure. But if I'm so insecure as a fat woman that I've tried, and so now I'm not even gonna fucking try, and you just have to love me as I am. I'm a fat advocate. Go fuck yourself, liar.
Absolutely,
God
100%.
Anyway, I would love to hear if you're willing to. So you don't need to obviously go into details, and I'm willing to not go down the road if you don't like. But you said that you have a girl,
right?
Okay. When did you guys start?
I met her about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And
did she know what you are?
Oh, she does. See,
did she know?
I was blessed. I got lucky because I'll be honest with you, man. It was hard to date people or find someone because of all of this stuff.
Yeah, try OkCupid, man.
Yeah, in the Bay Area too. It's like, man, it was rough.
Right.
But she happens to be from Russia, and Russia, they have a totally different way of thinking than they think here.
Yeah, a little more honesty.
I just like her because she lets me be who I want to be, and she lets me think what I want to think. She might not agree with everything at all, like politics or whatever.
Right.
And that's all we're really asking for.
Right.
I mean, in relationship and life, it's just let me be myself. And if you're comfortable with that, then damn it, I love you. You're the one for sure.
Right.
And then she's Russian, so she's obviously more conservative, and so we kind of click on a lot of things. We're just like, yeah, okay, right on, we're good.
Yeah. Have you ever watched those? Have you ever watched those videos of like? There's a guy who goes around to the socialist rallies and is like, hey, I actually grew up in a socialist country.
Yeah, I love that.
Ask me how well it went. You know what I mean? Yeah, I actually grew up in communism, cocksucker. Yeah. Ask me how well it went. Let's talk about it.
I've talked to some of her friends and, like family members, and they're just like, they're baffled. They're like, they really want socialism. Like, they really want like communism.
Right.
Do they like, what are they talking about?
Right.
And that's just brainwashing from professors. These kids, they don't have jobs yet. They're in college. Right. Their professors are losers in their little movement or whatever when their hippies didn't work. A lot of
professors are not just losers. Like you can't fuck. Like you can't be a guy who is like a fucking dude.
Yeah.
If like you're wearing... you're wearing corduroy all the time.
Yeah, oh my god, with with that weird ponytail. So they're gonna take all their anger out and like teach their kids, teach their students just all this indoctrinated bullshit. And then, I laugh because then these kids are going to get out of college, with their, lesbian dance and
lesbian dance theory,
poli-sci major, and you're not going to be able to get a job. And then when you do get a job, they're going to be like, why is 40% of my fucking paycheck gone from my paycheck that I work for? Right. Oh, it's called taxes.
Right.
Taxes that are like bullshit.
Right.
That your professor and all the Democrats want you to buy into.
Remember, have you ever listened to Opie and Anthony?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Anthony talked about this sometimes, and this was at a point where Opie and Anthony was a giant radio show.
Right.
And they were making a lot of money. And Anthony talked about, someone said, well, why don't you pitch in? He's like, I already pitch in, like, because they were talking about the 1% versus the, the guys who make a lot of money need to chip in. He's like, they take 50%, not 30%, not a measly 25%, 50%. And that was New York 10 years ago, not California.
Right.
Take 50% of the money that he makes and use it for government shit. Like, holy 50%?
What do you think?
I thought the more money you make, of course there are loopholes for everything, and everybody's looking for them. I have them. Everybody has them. But, like, you're going to tell me that 50% is not enough?
Jesus Christ. I've had friends that, like, they move up the ladder, they're entrepreneurs. And, like, this was about 10 years ago, and they're like, why in the fuck am I, like, I'm making more money so they could take more? That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Right. And why do you think all the businesses left? And why unemployment was so high during Obama and stuff? It's like, can we get past the fucking used car salesman shit and just get down to brass tacks? Like, we're getting fucked right now.
Right.
So, I don't know how we got back to Trump, but I like talking about him because the guy's a fucking winner.
Yeah, he's not doing bad. I mean, I have that close family member who's gay keeps sending me, like, because she knows, like, I do a lot of this stuff, and I started this podcast called Conservative, so she'll send me, like, lots of different tweets, and it's hard for me to, like, even start looking at it because it's like there's so much, and yes, the internet is a great thing that we can search through, but, like, there's so much. Now there's still also structures within the internet to lie to your ass.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Here's a good thing for everybody to check out. When you're reading any kind of, like, article, and it says, like CNN, for example, they're the best. They always do the same shit. Washington Post, they say blah 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 blah. A source or a person, a source close to whoever.
Right.
Who's the source?
Right.
They never tell you the source. If they don't give you a fucking name, it's bullshit.
Right.
Just take it as that is.
Also, another good thing, sometimes I'll like Christina Hoff Sommers or Gavin will share an article, and it's a horrible article, and then, like, you look at, it's super easy. Click on, nowadays you can, there's the author's name is highlighted. Right. So you just click on the author, and it'll tell you they've done literally, like, 2 articles, or normally they write, this is a big, a feminist piece, right? Right. A big Me Too piece. Normally they write about what? They write about music in or they write about like, it's not, and not just that, you can kind of tell, like, I know it's, we're not supposed to prejudge, but, like, if a dude especially is constantly writing about, if a woman is writing constantly about how it's okay for her to not have kids, and it's okay for her to be super feminist and, like, feminist to the point of, like, I have my cat baby, like, baby, like, you're sad, you're not happy. That's what I was saying. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. That's what I was talking about earlier. Yep.
And how is it? And as a dude, and as someone who's willing to fight the fight, like, how do we reach a girl who's that lost, especially if we don't have dudes around her to say, baby, shut the fuck up?
Bro, it's
like,
hard.
You know what I mean?
It's hard.
Holy
and
shit.
No. Now the guys that are around here, those are the soy boys where they're like, you need to respect her more. It's like, Right. Then that's why that's why the fertility rates are just dropping. Like, I'm serious. It's a problem.
Dude, I was hanging out. I hope this person doesn't. I guarantee they won't listen. But, like, I was hanging out at this thing yesterday, and this person checked in and talked about or I know that he's getting married and he's vegan.
Oh.
And he's just, like, I can feel it in his bones. Like, like, there are some dudes, like, all right, I'm not gay. I fooled around with a couple of dudes. It's not my thing. I tried it way back in the day. But, like, when I look at that dude, like, I know nobody wants to fuck. Like, no animal is looking at that guy as like an animal going like that Jason Momoa shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nobody, apparently there's been studies where even if both partners are vegan, she's more attracted to those who are not vegan. I forgot where I was going with that. God damn it. Oh, and then the guy right next to him was talking about, hey, yeah, we just went to me and my lady just went to couples therapy and it's going great. And I'm my ass puckered. I'm just like, God damn it, dude. I'm not saying that he can't be wrong or that there isn't valuable things in therapy, but like, hey, it's going really well at this group therapy. Like you can't. Yeah. Someone's gonna cheat at some point, and that you said they take the anger out. Those soy teachers.
Yeah.
The animal will find a fucking way.
Right.
And if the animal, the angry kind of, or not angry, but like the aggressive animal that I am will find a way. If I'm tamping it down outwardly with, I'm not going to ask that girl out, and I'm not going to be a dude. I'm not going to be proud about my dudeness. If I'm tamping that down, it's gonna whack-a-mole up somewhere else, and where that whack-a-mole's up is I'm now going to be aggressive on internet. I'm now going to be a cheater. I'm now going to be a rapist. I'm now going to be or a drug a date rapist. Like the animal, the aggressive manness will come out some way, just like the femaleness will come out some other way. That shit where a woman wants a dude who was willing to tell her shut the fuck up or tell her no.
Right.
If she doesn't get that, she will find it another way. She will tamp him down until he's such a little boy, and then she'll suddenly leave him for a dude.
And I've seen it so many times, man. I've seen it over and over again. Okay, I just want to say, since you said vegan, I want to say something to all the vegans. Hey, you know all those vegetables that you eat? They were alive ones too, and you murdered them. So get out of here with that shit. I'm eating meat. Mm-hmm. I killed it. Yeah, they died, and all those vegetables I eat died too. So it's all death.
Right.
Everything's death. Just eat and leave me the fuck alone.
I like guns, but I've only shot like what? I think only like once. Mm-hmm. I want to get one, but I don't feel like I live in a place that has roommates that are young. I'm not in the right life situation yet.
Exactly.
But I legit like guns. Where do you stand on those?
Oh, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. A lot of Republicans and a lot of conservatives, they don't like to say what it's all about, like when it says in the Constitution.
Okay.
In summary, you should be able to have arms, guns, in case your government goes tyrannical and you need to protect yourself. Pretty fucking much.
It's not far.
It's not. If you really think about it, it's not fucking far away. And like, they have nuclear bombs, and they're not going to bomb their own people. They're not going to bomb the people they're trying to like enslave. So it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But basically, period. You should be strapped up just in case some shit goes down. Just in case.
Right.
And period. That's it.
And isn't the left used to be the party that was untrusting of the government?
Right.
When you look at like Rage Against the Machine. Exactly. Rage Against the Machine was constantly, we don't trust this fucking government. Yeah. Tear it all down. And now when it comes to guns, they're like, no, we totally trust the government. When it comes to guns, but not when it comes to if the person at the top is a Republican.
And period, you're gonna get rid of all the guns. Well, the criminals aren't.
Oh yeah.
They're not going to get rid of their guns. It's going to be easier for them to commit crimes. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to protect. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I'm going to protect if I have kids, I'm going to protect my damn fucking family. Someone's trying to break into my house. Period. That's it.
Right.
You're not going to take my guns away. It's not going to happen either. Mm-hmm. They're so hung up on this shit. It's not going to happen. They're not taking anybody's guns away. So I'd say you guys should probably drop it. It's not going to happen.
Right. And I don't think. I think it's small little ways, but like you said, they're not going to nuke people, but there's small ways that they can, can manipulate us.
But check this out: the military is on our side for the people, so that's not going to be a problem.
And most of the motherfuckers in there, I just can't wait to have one on.
Man, you got to get some veterans, man.
Dude, I've been trying. I talked to one guy. He said that he's even in oh my God. Even anonymously. There we go. Yeah. Even anonymously, they are trained to not say bad things about the government. Like they are, or what did he say? He said they are trained to they are told not to have opinions.
Yeah, because they have a job to do during when they're.
But I'm like, I won't tell anybody.
Oh no,
like,
but if they're out of the service, then yeah, they can. Like,
that's true. That's true.
Proud Boys has a lot of veterans. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And man, they're the most solid motherfuckers you'll ever meet in your life. They got
for sure.
They got their shit together.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, and then there's a guy, a cop I've been talking to. He doesn't live in the area, but I would love to have cops on. I had fucking drag queen on. I want everybody in, because even the drag queen, who's apparently supposed to be super left wing, was saying things like, we talked about her getting in trouble for fucking jokes, and she's like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to stop saying jokes. You know what I mean? Like, legit, like, all of a sudden, people from different walks of life and different quote-unquote political orientations suddenly agree on shit. That's what I'm saying this whole time. Is like, this is not that big a fucking deal. You know what I mean?
So I know I won't say her name, but because she's in the Bay Area, but like when I was performing with that group, this one particular group, and she's there, and she's just like, she didn't give a fuck.
One of the drag queens?
Yeah, she's just like, baby, I don't give a fuck about politics.
Right.
She's like, all I care about looking good and fucking doing my dance routine. Right. Like they're like drag queens, dude. They work on their craft so much. I kind of like respect them because they're all about whatever they do. Their persona.
Right. And they don't need the respect either. Like,
fuck no. They're down for their shit.
Something about, and I was talking about this with other people too. But like, have you ever been to like what is it? Like burlesque shows or
the band I played with was part burlesque shows, yeah.
There was also a better example is the drag king shows. There's nothing more boring than a drag king show.
I don't even know what that is, yeah.
So a drag queen is a guy dressing up as a girl, or trans dressing up as it's all about I'm becoming this female, or something like that. Like, I've done drag before, but more like I'm like the scary bitch.
Yeah. That's
performance art, right?
That's the more like performance art, yeah. Drag
king is a gal becoming a guy. Now, there are artistic ways to do that, but most of the time what that looks like is I'm going to laugh and clap. I'm not going to laugh, but I'm going to clap and woo the whole time because I'm a female in the crowd, and I just want to support this important art. This is an important art. Ugh, boring shit. I mean, boring. Fuck it. Stop.
And both of them are not my cup of tea. I'm like, it's kind of, it's not, there's nothing entertaining for me at all, but I'm just saying that's another group where like the the left tries to say these are our people, these are and she's just trying to say I don't give a fuck about politics, I don't care about that bitch Hillary, I don't care about that fucking orange whatever. Right. So it's just like goes back to like let people be people, leave people alone, be libertarian. Like, that's why I like the libertarian part of it. It's like
exactly
pretty much leave me the fuck alone.
Right.
I don't care what you're doing. Can you just leave me alone?
And even when Trump got elected, like I looked around. You like Bill Hicks? You ever listen to Bill Hicks?
Yeah.
He has that joke where he's like, watching CNN, and he's like, and it's war, disease, famine, AIDS, war, disease, famine, AIDS. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. And he looks outside, like, where is this shit happening, man?
Right.
Like, when Trump got elected, like nothing crumbled. Like no one. Like, I looked around, like, my life has not changed really at all. I understand people are making more money, and I'm behind that, and North Korea changed, and a bunch of good shit's happening. But my life, besides making a little bit more, like, my life is not different. It's fucking not different.
I try to tell my liberal friends, because, man, they were just over, like, they were just crying and just hysterical. And inside, I was just jumping up and down like a little kid. But I was trying to tell them, and like they started pissing me off. I was just like, dude, how about you just live your fucking life?
Right.
No president is gonna like be cooking your food in the morning. No president is gonna take your kids to school. No president is gonna take you to work and work for you. Like, just fucking go live your life and cut it out already.
Right.
It's getting old.
It really is getting old, and I think people are starting. I have a friend. Should I say this? Yeah, I'm going to say this. I won't mention his name, but I don't even know if he listens to the podcast or not, but he posted something about going to Fahrenheit 11/9, which is the Michael Moore movie about Trump. And he literally said, what an amazing movie. I have never openly wept in a movie theater. And
are you serious?
Yeah.
I had a friend that got
he's a dude.
This dude actually got red pilled from watching it. He's like, I've never seen so much propaganda ever in my life.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, and I was like,
very cool.
That's fuck. Oh, but that whole topic you're talking about, the biggest one is the whole Russia thing. That's how brainwashed people are. Where
Hillary actually did the collusion part, by the way. Let's talk about that for a second, because there's a lot of people who have already turned it off by now, but there's a lot of people who are willing to kind of,
Yeah.
But like, okay, so Hillary actually did the DNC, I think, or was it Obama?
No, it was DNC, they paid for it. Hillary Clinton's
the study, the Steele, what is it? Steele dossier.
He's a spy.
Okay.
And still created, he met up with some Jews in Russia and they wrote it together. Like they got together. He got paid like millions of dollars to write the fucking dossier. This stupid dossier, like on face value, is just ridiculous. Like he had some girls piss on the bed. He wasn't even there during the time they said that he was. There's no film or anything like that. Then
let's pause it real quick.
Yeah.
Aren't you motherfuckers who are against slut shaming
right.
okay with someone consensually getting peed on? Like,
yeah.
What's wrong with a little pee? Stop
right.
being a little baby. Now, all of a sudden,
right.
oh, he gets peed on. Like, now you want to get him out of office because he gets peed on? Yeah. Let's put a camera in your fucking bedroom.
Yeah.
You dirty little... Oh, you like to get choked and spanked and all kinds of nasty shit.
And this is
lying-ass motherfucker.
And this is like the mentality they have. They thought they can get away with this. And it's just been breaking down with Comey getting fired.
But Steele was he a Russian or
no? He was a British.
Okay,
British spy,
and he was paid for by
DNC.
Hillary, by the DNC. So behind their back to try to make these news stories, this news story come out, so that it could derail.
Yes,
which is exactly what the left is saying that Trump did.
And here's the thing that they really fucked up on. So and they also got caught spying on Donald Trump.
Really?
Yes. You know when he said, "Oh, they bugged my place."
Oh yeah.
They didn't not literally bug, but they were surveillancing him. They have, and in order to do that to an American citizen, you have to get FISA warrants.
Who was following him?
The DOJ and the FBI.
Okay, so it wasn't like people trying to make sure that a candidate is safe. It wasn't the Secret Service. That's what.
Yeah, they try to throw that out after they got caught.
Okay,
which is full of shit.
Right.
But that's why Comey got fired. So like, where was I going with this?
Sorry.
Where was I? What part of it?
Damn it! People are yelling at the TV right now. They're saying TV.
Man, I know so much about this. Okay, yeah. So
sorry.
I got it. I think I have it.
All right.
Oh yeah. So you have to get a FISA warrant.
Oh, in order to
surveillance, and those are like really hard to get because they're really strict about that. You know what I'm saying? It's an American citizen. Why are you trying to follow him? And it's a presidential fucking candidate.
Right.
And so what they used for the evidence to get the FISA warrant was an article written on Washington Post. Just an article about the dossier. Just written, just like...
It wasn't even the actual dossier.
That's not even evidence. That's a fucking news story. They're saying... They literally try to say, oh, look, it's in the news.
Right.
So we have to follow him.
Right.
That's fucking illegal. That's not evidence.
Right.
So they gave him 2 of those warrants, and then for the third one, the judge was like, "Yeah, I don't think so." And then that's when they came with some other bullshit, and they lied about it, and so they got the third one, and that's like super illegal. That's why Comey got fired. That's why McCabe got fired, and then you had those 2 guys, Strzok, and his lover,
Peter Strzok, right.
Yeah, writing those texts. It's just they were all colluding together.
They were intentionally doing
all of
it.
them.
Right,
yes.
Right.
And like there's bank records that the DNC paid for the fucking thing.
That's awesome.
And people, but if you go on Rachel Maddow, she still thinks there's Russian collusion. It's like,
right.
And I feel like it's been 2 years, and you guys haven't come up with nothing.
I feel like Maddow should know better. She seems like a smart, or she would. She would like to be smart enough to not do that shit.
She's fucking freaking out because sooner or later this has to end. Right. This whole investigation.
Right.
And when that ends, I hope it does, and it should. These people that are Democrats are going to be like, they fucking lied to us for almost 2 years.
I feel like, and maybe this goes to my point earlier when I was saying that horrendous, awful thing about females not getting contacts. It's like Super Friends. I keep going to this analogy.
Yeah.
Females are very important, or the more feminine aspect of life is very important. It's very feelings-oriented.
Right.
It's very, I feel this, and I say it. I'm very caring. I'm very, someone needs to do the fucking job of kissing boo-boos, right? But also, the male perspective, the less feminine, the more masculine, is also necessary. We need someone to shoot the wolf. You kiss the boo-boo, I shoot the wolf. Right. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so both are necessary. Right. But now, someone like a Rachel Maddow, or someone who's a lot more, those soy boys, if you will, those feminine guys, are coming much more from a place. This is all feeling. I don't need to listen to logic. You know what I mean? I don't need to think too much about this because I feel this, so my feelings are true. Feelings are true, but logic trumps feelings, and yet we don't want to. You know what I mean? And that's why, since it's all, I feel like it's all kind of feeding each other in this circle.
Go to CNN and watch. Every anchor looks exactly the same, women or guy.
Right.
They're all the same. They're all in their feelings.
Right.
No fact. I mean, they've lied about so much shit, and they're all crying, and they're all so outraged about everything. It's like, am I listening to a guy right now, or is it a woman? Like, what do you got? Yeah.
Not just that, but the article thing you were saying that an article is not enough. The second accuser of Kavanaugh, the first one did not come from an article.
Damn it.
The second one came from an article, but that article had been passed on multiple times because that person thought about it with her lawyer for 6 days, and then was like, okay, I think he did show me his penis and hit me with his penis when we were in college, so I'm gonna go and decide to go write an article. So she shopped it to a bunch of papers who decided it wasn't corroboratable enough. It wasn't to launch this, and then Ronan Farrow just decided, fuck it, I'm gonna go with it and add it to the mix of accusing
both
Kavanaugh.
Accusers. The people they said that were around when it happened, every single one of them. I think there was 4 witnesses for the first one, and there was like 6 for the second one. Every single one of them choreographically said, "I wasn't there," or "I don't know what she's talking about," and I don't even know this fucking person.
No corroborating evidence. In fact, the second one, Jim and Sam. I listened to Jim and Sam. They were talking about it. The second one apparently was that he was in college being a dumbass and waved his dick around and then, like, prank style, like, hit her in the face with it and ran. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not saying that was cool, but, like, there's a big fucking difference between, if you want to get everybody on pranks, like, again, principle needs to be more important than the personality.
And I bet you'd even see, it was only on Breitbart because they're the only people that would air it. There were 75 women. There's a big press conference.
I saw that. Oh, my God, that was
75
beautiful.
75 from high school through college.
Who all know Kavanaugh.
And said he's the fucking most upstanding guy. What about them? Are they're women?
Right. We're not allowed. But we're not allowed to believe those people, Jerry, because those people are against our side. We want to believe all women except the ones who don't agree with what I'm thinking.
And it goes back to the fucking establishment. So the Republicans better fucking take care of this shit, because there's some of them that are still establishment, and they kind of want Kavanaugh to, like, not be, they never Trumpers, because they want to just keep the toe the same like they've been for years.
Right.
Oh, we hate each other, but keep it going so they can stay in power and make money.
Right.
The Republicans better fix this shit, and he better get sworn in, because if they don't, they're going to lose the midterm election for sure, I think.
And as far as feelings, what really struck me about that press conference, about that female up there and those 75, apparently, I didn't even know it was that. I thought, wow, 14 bitches all like Kavanaugh. No, 75, okay.
Yeah.
So she was crying.
Yeah.
Like, okay, aren't we supposed to believe, like, not only was she didn't look like she had a gun to her head. I watched the thing. I watched it. She's not saying, I love Kavanaugh and everything's fine. Please don't kill me, Republicans. She was crying tears of sincerity, which obviously can be faked, but, like, she was crying, and everybody, there was 75, like, there was a lot of girls there all saying, like, no, we like this fucking dude. Bro. I don't know why, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that... I mean, it was a different time, and smacking somebody with your dick in a prank style was a lot more acceptable back then. Sorry, but, like, even now, like, you're gonna tell me Biden never waved his dick around? Like, I mean, he's his own creepy
Bill
fucking.
Clinton,
Bill Clinton never waved his dick or slapped somebody with it. Like, Porky's, you know what I mean? Like, come on now, you're gonna tell me that's true?
You know what? Check this out. Even on a deeper level, which is really fucked up, and, like, I hope people take notice of this, especially Democrats. It's like, you know what? When it gets proven that this was wrong, what do you think about his family? Kavanaugh's kids and his wife.
Right.
You're okay with, like, them going through that bullshit just so you could, like, score some political points?
Right.
You should probably, like, reevaluate your whole fucking thought process about life.
And I'm sure he and his wife sat down and was like, listen, babe, this is going to get real fucking crazy.
Why? Yeah.
But
why?
But his kids can't decide be involved in that. They didn't decide to. You're now, and it's in a big public way. Stupid ass Will and Grace, Megan Mullally are holding signs saying #believe. Like #believe all women. I'm sorry, but like Megan Mullally, you're a hilarious bitch, but you can't do that. You can't say such a blanket statement. If you want to say believe Blasey Ford or whatever the fuck her name is, okay, fine. I disagree with you, but my hat's off to you. But believe all women?
Yeah.
Like,
that's
fucking insane.
And he has a little girl. You're not even thinking about, how about believe, what about his little girl?
Right.
Like, you're going to fuck her up for a while. Like,
right.
That's just the mentality. They will kill, they will destroy anybody in their path.
Right.
So, Soy Boys, get your shit together. Come on, the Proud Boys, when you get it together.
That was when people were mad about. Some people were mad. I don't think you should give them a platform because
why? I would say why?
Because they're gonna recruit. Like, hang on. I like you. I'm happy to have this conversation, but I had a thought about it. Like, oh, maybe, but I'm like, I got a lot of shit going on. Like, I don't need to. I'm already like a public person. I don't need to make my life worse.
I'll say,
not make my life worse by being a part of it, but like I don't need to put a even bigger target on my back. But that's the thing, is that I agree. I haven't heard like one. There's been like one or two things where I'm like, say wise, but like there's been nothing that you and I disagree with so far, and yet I'm not suddenly blindly, I'm gonna march mindlessly off into the fucking
and I shouldn't
ranks.
say that, and I'll put that to rest, because we don't recruit, and we've never recruited. People just they find us.
Right.
They want to join. That's what it comes down to.
You, as an example,
I found them.
The Mexican white supremacist, apparently, found the Proud Boys because you saw a bunch of motherfuckers getting beat up, and then the next day you saw a Gavin McInnes video. Yeah. So what the fuck? Yeah. Like, and not just that, but I hate the fact that it's like the cup game where, like, okay, here's the reason. They're all white supremacists. Okay, now what's the reason? Now that you know that there are non-whites in there, now what? Oh, it's because they're misogynistic. Oh, okay, now that you know there's a Proud Boys girls or a Proud Boys women faction, now what the problem? Like, you're just moving the problem over and over. Yeah. If you listen to this whole fucking episode and you're not down with the Proud Boys, you're not actively thinking.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Jesus fucking Christ.
They moved it down to
assholes.
They're associated with a person that was at Charlottesville. So a person that knew a person that knew a person, and how are we?
You mean the guy who drove the car?
Yeah, and so now we like, how we weren't there, we weren't involved. Like, please, you guys got to think about it. Like, think it all the way through.
Right.
Whatever you think about it, just think it all the way through. And if you have questions, come talk to me.
Right.
Anytime.
And not just that. As far as exposing, I actually went, like, because I was like, okay, if Milo's not Satan, he's Milo, but if he's not Satan, Gavin McInnes isn't Satan, let me look up Richard Spencer. Because I was like, I hear a lot about that guy, right? But I was like, socialist. Right, but I actually looked him up.
Yeah.
Because, I was willing to wade into the I believed in myself and in humanity enough to not think that I'm going to be mindlessly all of a sudden changed without actively thinking about it. Not just from having a Proud Boy on, but I can watch anti-black videos or whatever and not suddenly be anti-black, right? So I was like, fuck it. I'll go find out what Richard Spencer's all about. And I watched like maybe 5 videos total, and I'm like, in reality, like, I'm like, he's kind of a douche. Like, he's like a pimply, oily, just kind of like little boy. He just reminds me of, like, he's just kind of pathetic. And then after 5 videos, I was like, all right, well, I've gotten all I need to know out of him.
Yeah, he's a douche.
I don't think he's violently racist and the new leader of the. No, I think he's just kind of an ineffective. He's not effective, you know what I mean? But, like, even if he, like, he's kind of pathetic, and then I moved on. He doesn't scratch me like fucking, listening to Jordan Peterson or Ben Shapiro or these other, people. Being exposed to him actually made me realize that I don't care enough. Right. I don't think he's violently racist.
Right, you don't
but he just does nothing for me. It's like, oh, okay, you're that guy. Fucking.
And here's the thing:
cut your hair, dude. Yeah, get a different fucking haircut.
He's a jackass. So, like, you got to watch Dinesh D'Souza's new movie out.
Oh yeah.
Because in that movie, he face to face he exposes Spencer. He's a fucking socialist.
Nice.
So he's full of shit. Everything that he's been saying.
Interesting.
And he makes him look dumb as fuck. And then they say Jason Kessler. Jason Kessler was
Who's Jason Kessler?
He's the one who was the guy who set up Unite the Right,
the Charlottesville
thing.
So he's the one who set it up.
Yeah, it's been proven now. He was a socialist, He's a Bernie bro.
Interesting.
He's a fucking Bernie bro.
Is he actually racist, or is he like
no,
a Richard
he's not.
Spencer?
He's a
fake
fucking
racist?
He's a plant, Kessler.
What do you mean he's a plant?
Like, he was put there on purpose to do all that, to make it seem like there's a whole Nazi movement and shit. That guy Kessler tried so hard to get Proud Boys involved in the Charlottesville, and he was full of shit from day one.
I see.
And we wanted nothing to do with him.
Right.
And now it's been proven that he's a Bernie bro.
Interesting.
And so I just want people to think all this shit through, look at the facts, and now think about your reality. Is there really a Nazi around every corner?
Right.
Or is a Mexican a Nazi? Like, am I at home punching myself in the face? Think it through.
But Jerry, you're brown. You have to believe one thing. You can't believe other things. You're our little pet.
Yep. Oh man,
fucking
it's the worst.
Democrat assholes.
You're a traitor. You're a traitor to your race. You should be ashamed of yourself. I'm like, yeah.
Just because you want legal immigration.
I'm like, you're fucking white, and you're trying to tell me that shit. First of all, and second of all, I don't care. I don't give a flying fuck. Like, I don't care.
Right.
Yeah. Jeez. You're Islamophobic. Islam is not a race.
Right.
Think things through. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This has been fucking good.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Yeah, this has been fucking really good.
Got
Do you want to start wrapping up?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Thanks for having me.
We can keep going if you want.
No, I'm all out. I got it all out. I feel better. I feel like I was just it was therapeutic for me. But people, we're not racist, so just calm down, okay? We're not white supremacists, so calm down.
Not misogynists.
We're not misogynists, so just calm down. And just basically, and if you don't want to do that, just leave us the fuck alone.
And not
we'll
just,
leave you alone.
Not just that, but you guys are okay if someone doesn't like America. Like,
we don't
feel free, but you guys like America.
Everybody, it's freedom of speech, and we mean that for everybody. You can hate us, fine. You can hate Trump, cool. You can hate everything you want, but once you go over the line and start actively attacking people,
or trying to silence people,
I mean, we're not just going to stand there. We're not soy boys. We're not going to just roll over. Sorry,
right?
But let's just be peaceful. Let's debate it out. You guys have an election coming up, so work on your candidates. We'll work on ours, and it's just life. Get over it. You'll be fine.
Obviously, you have nothing to plug, right? Unless you'd like to.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. If you need to find us, you can find us. We're around. We're not secret. Well, we are secret in some sense.
Right.
I'll just shut up.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
I will plug that I am on.
Yes, please.
I just started a fucking Patreon. I don't
get it.
I don't want to because it just feels pathetic. But it's just me being judgmental of myself. It's going to be patreon.com/conservatish. And if you want to support, feel free. You can pledge $1 or $5 or $10 or whatever the hell you want to pledge. Otherwise, I'm never going to make the podcast not free. I'm never gonna charge for it. I'm just gonna keep posting it. But if you want to contribute, feel free. But otherwise, I'm gonna keep doing it. It's just a son of a bitch to
not even that, bro. You know what you're doing?
Take a night for
you're acting.
No work.
You're acting on one of the Proud Boys tenets. Is we glorify the entrepreneur. I mean, Patreon. You're trying to be an entrepreneur.
I am, because this actually is very expensive, not just monetarily, but also time wise, which is money. It is a labor of love, and I feel actually more on fire for this. I mean, I'm still recording my album. I'm still playing twice a week. But I'm, in fact, I'll be at, I'll plug that. I'll be at Duvin Wine Bar, in Oakland, on Saturday, the 29th, and in Amelie Wine Bar playing music, in San Francisco on the 30th, Sunday. Feel free to come and yell at me. It's a labor of love, but I feel more on fire for this than I have for music in a while.
I'm proud of your boy. You know what you're doing? You're making America great again. Everybody get on that
Man, that made people pucker.
Yeah.
That made people's assholes pucker just now.
Don't fight it, people. Get on that Trump train. Get that money. Let's all get this money. Choo-choo.
Choo-choo. All right, everybody. Thank you very much, and hope you enjoyed yourself. Thank you again, Jerry, for coming on. All right.